NBA history like the Warriors backcourt, Steph and Clay, 592 three-pointers made. And no one has ever scored and defended like Michael Jordan, 10-time scoring champion, 3-time NBA steals leader. Ron Harper, an excellent defender. Steve Kerr could shoot the three. Give the edge to the Bulls at the guard spot. The forwards, Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman versus Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. Durant, as tough a cover as there is, 4-time scoring champion. Pippen, 8 times on the NBA's all-defensive team. Draymond and Rodman may kill each other. Draymond 14 technicals in 2017. Rodman 29 in 96. Durant a finals MVP. The Warriors get the edge at forward. In the middle, Luke Longley, Bill Wennington, Zaza Pachulia, JaVale McGee. Let's call it dead even and barely worth mentioning. The bench. The Bulls would use Tony Kukoc extensively. He could score and rebound and push the ball. Andre Iguodala would guard Jordan, hoping to wear him down. Give the Bulls a slight edge for Kukoc's scoring ability. The coaches. The Zen master Phil Jackson, 11 rings, and Steve Kerr. Phil gets the nod. The verdict. The Warriors have the better shooters, the tougher system to play against. The Bulls have the best player to ever play the game, 3 players on the all-defensive team. This one is tight, and the world would be watching. The Bulls never went 7 games in the finals. This one, it's going the distance. Give me Michael Jordan hitting the game winner as time expires. Bulls in 7. How would LeBron James's career be different if he chose to, or had been forced to, under the rules of today, go to college?
I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Ask me about my winner.
We're good streaking! Yeah.
Toga, toga.
What, like it's hard?
How do you like them apples?
My boy's wicked smart.
Would there still be a Cleveland championship drought? Would there have been a television special gone wrong? One thing is for certain, regardless of when and to who LeBron was drafted, he would still dominate the league. Let's first assume that if the one-and-done rule existed when LeBron was in high school, LeBron would of course have his pick of any school, but it comes down to 2, Ohio State and Duke. LeBron has always been an Ohio State fan. But would he have spurned the Buckeyes for his pal Coach K and the Blue Devils? It could have turned into the decision before there was the decision, and Ohio might have been mad. The Buckeyes were 14-16 in 2003. Their leading scorer was Tony Stockman. That's a name you might recognize now if he played with LeBron then. Duke was loaded, as usual with NBA talent. Luol Deng, Chris Duhon, J.J. Redick. Safe to say Duke would have another championship banner in their rafters with LeBron. And championship or not, LeBron James still goes number 1 in the NBA draft a year later. But to a different team, the Orlando Magic. With LeBron on the board, there's no way the Magic pass him up for high school Dwight Howard. Let's fast forward to 2010. That's a Magic team featuring LeBron instead of Dwight Howard, with Vince Carter and J.J. Redick and Rashard Lewis. Put LeBron on that team, and there's a great chance we get the LeBron-Kobe finals matchup that we always wanted, never got, and NBA fans are loving it. But eventually, LeBron's time in Orlando would come to an end. Something would happen, and LeBron would start to look elsewhere. That's who he is. Enter the Los Angeles Lakers. The timing would have been perfect, James coming after Kobe retires and leading the Lakers into the post-Kobe era. So where does that leave Cleveland? The prodigal son never plays for his hometown team. The Cavs still haven't won a championship, leaving the city with the longest active championship drought in Major League sports. Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. This is easy. Let's start with the simple question. Who would you rather give the ball to if you needed a basket? Michael Jordan led the NBA in scoring 10 times. LeBron James has done it once. How about when it mattered most? Michael Jordan had 38 40-point games in the playoffs. LeBron has 22 in 46 more games and counting. Michael Jordan scored under 20 only 6 times in his playoff career, 179 playoff games. LeBron has scored under 20 8 times in just the finals. MJ never scored under 20 in the finals. And how about when you need to get a stop? Michael Jordan won the NBA Defensive Player of the Year once. It was on the All-Defensive Team 9 times. Happy Game 5, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bucks and Raptors about to tip it off. High fives around. Let's do this. We are excited tonight with so much going on in the league. But first things first here, Jasmyn Wimbish. Josh David Wilson. Wilson's going to Wilmington, North Carolina this weekend. We're just having a talk before the show.
It's his birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Wilson. And then he's like, I'm like, you know, that's the home of Michael Jordan. And this dude flat out questions me like, I don't know where MJ grew up and went to Laney High School.
Yeah, well,
the only thing I know in my life
The
is
only
that.
thing, yeah.
And you're questioning
all of the
me.
knowledge he
I'm
has in his
offended to
brain.
start the show.
I was off base in 2 areas. Like, I should have known where Michael Jordan's hometown was, and I should have known not to question you on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Apologies across the board. Not a great start for me, but
No, it's always a good start. Always a good
Okay.
start.
I'd say
Always
it's not a
good
great start for him.
Well, that's
but
true.
whatever.
And Jasmine was telling me what the weather was going to be this weekend. You wanted to
I'm
fight her
still
on
a
the
little
weather.
salty, so
Yeah.
I am feeling quite, I guess.
You're like 0 for 3 to start the
yeah,
game, so.
but, I'm going to keep shooting.
So we
Yeah,
got
keep shooting
Edge
shot.
on the show tonight, and I got my second cup of coffee rolling today. I'm very excited. Went with the refill at the very popular coffee shop that we all
called Starbucks.
called the Bucks. I wasn't going to give them free pub, but hey, that's true.
It's even the fake one, too.
We
Wasn't that the
also want to
Target
shout
one?
out that we are going to have some contributors from the Step Back on tonight. We're going to have Brandon Jefferson coming at you. We're going to have Ben Ladner, so stick around for those two because they will be joining us on the stream.
Love Brandon and Ben. Giannis to the hole as we are underway, and he's fouled.
And those ugly-ass Raptors jerseys.
No, those are the best ones.
That's terrible.
No, I love those
They're
ones.
wearing the red North. I think that's a cool. You don't think that jersey?
That's the OVO North jersey because you know who made it? Their global ambassador Drake.
I thought the
who
OVO ones
works-
were black and gold.
No, it's the exact same design. So it's just a continuation.
That's
Well, I like both of them.
I think they look good. And Giannis, by the way, missing the first free throw of the ball game here. Will Giannis Antetokounmpo find his mojo tonight, Jasmine?
I think so. I think you can't hold him down for too long. It's been, 2 games that he's not performed very well. So I think eventually it'll bounce back. He's on his home floor. That didn't look great.
He missed 2 free throws there. Middleton gets the rebound, misses a short shot in the lane. Raptors the basketball, which makes me think as we get going here, will the Bucks feel the pressure of losing back-to-back games? Everybody pretty much had them in the finals, and now we got a Raptors team that has pulled dead even, and I would say has at least a drop of momentum here.
Yeah, and I don't think, it's not nothing that they haven't really had to face losing 2 in a row. And
They've
so,
only done it once in the regular. They've only lost back-to-back games once in the regular season.
Yeah, so this is a whole new world for them of figuring out how to bounce back from this. And the Raptors, not to rag on them, but they have had to deal with a little bit more adversity. So that's not nothing.
Ooh, Brogdon.
Brogdon for 3 in the left corner
wrong
is
spot.
good. Hold on a second here.
I mean, that play is actually a way better improvement upon Tuesday's game because on Tuesday's game, Giannis would just drive to the hole, force his way through there,
Right.
dribble through 3 people, get it stuck, throw it up, and miss a free throw.
Yeah,
but there
I'm
he
surprised.
dished it out to Brogdon.
I'm surprised he went to that first before trying to drive to the hole and assert his dominance there.
I think for this team, you have to get everybody else involved because Giannis is
Yeah.
going to be able to get those points, but being able to get Brogdon and get that 3 going as soon as possible is a good indicator for
Yeah,
them. to
and
start
now
out.
Bledsoe into the hole.
Well, it's
Drawing
very
a foul.
interesting that Brogdon is starting tonight here, team, because he's been coming off the bench all playoffs, and he's coming off a game where he went 2 for 11. But Brogdon in the starting lineup, Nico
Yeah.
out of the starting lineup. So Mike Budenholzer is a little too preoccupied with Drake, in my opinion, is making a move with the starting lineup. And also we should mention that Eric Bledsoe made a little jumper, and he's been struggling big time.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's funny that you mentioned Nico coming in for Malcolm Brogdon, because the switch that Budenholzer made after they got blown out the first game of that Boston series was starting Nico. So now he's making another switch of starting Malcolm Brogdon after they've, got blown out by Toronto. So maybe that slight shift will change. Richard, what are you eating? It smells good.
Yeah, it smells amazing.
Fake meat. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. I like it. It smells delicious.
Does smell good. Pascal Siakam just went to the hole, and they're going to call an offensive foul. That's a tough call.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Brook Lopez, I don't think was at the spot, and Siakam is going to go out of the game with his second foul. 2 quick fouls. That's a big-time development here as we're less than 2 minutes into the ball game. So Siakam to the bench. One on a Bucks drive, and then now running over Brook Lopez, who did really have position. So that's huge.
Ooh, that was
great
nice.
move.
Nice ball fake.
Giannis to the hole and missed a layup, and an easy one at that.
What do we got?
We got Kyle Lowry for 3 off the rim, no good. Brogdon the rebound. Here come the Bucks back down the court quickly. Bledsoe travel, maybe no call. Instead, it's a turnover.
He should have just went straight up with that. That was bad. He would have at least gotten a foul call, I imagine.
Open 3 for Kyle Lowry is around and out. Rebound to the Bucks.
Speaking of Kyle Lowry, they came out, Nick Nurse came out last night, I think it was, saying that Kyle Lowry's been suffering with a thumb injury. I don't know. He didn't specify what's wrong with his thumb, but he said it's been lingering. It's been bothering him a lot. Kind of like give him a break because he's been struggling with his hand. Do we think that's like a sympathy grab, or do we think it's actually
it's kind of weird. Like, he's playing the best playoff basketball of his career. So to have an excuse and be like, give him a break, like, I don't think anybody's really ragging on Kyle Lowry a whole lot right now. We're kind of actually saying, wow, this is what you should have been doing the whole time.
You haven't seen Twitter recently, because a lot of every single time I scroll on Twitter, it's Kyle Lowry. The last 8 games, Kyle Lowry's gone like 0 points, 8 assists, like 20 from 3, like just absurd stats that I don't even know are even factual. But
Brook Lopez, short shot on the right baseline. That's why it's 9-3. Continue on Lowry.
But I do think that, people are being a little hard on him after he had a really big game 4, stepping up when Kawhi went down. Like, they needed him, and he showed up.
If that's the case, if that's what people are saying, then maybe they do need to be a little lighter on him. I think he's playing pretty good basketball, especially compared to what he's usually done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't want to compare him to a bar that, he should be shooting for higher, but I've been pleased with what I've seen from him.
Good to see the new centrist back with us. Thank you for joining again, new centrist. 11-3 Bucks on a beautiful feed from Antetokounmpo to Brook Lopez. The thing that's weird to me about the Kyle Lowry stuff, why would you want to announce that?
Yeah.
And
the timing of it's just weird.
Like, does Kyle need the love that, hey, man, we feel bad that you're getting all this negative pub, so we're going to let everybody know that your thumb's messed up? I mean, just leave it alone.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very reminiscent of when LeBron, that one finals, I can't remember what year it was, that afterwards he was like, I was playing with a broken hand or something, or he came into the press conference.
That was last
and had,
year, wasn't it?
Was that last year? Wow, that seems so long ago.
Yeah, time.
Time is
a construct
yes.
that is hard.
Whenever that was, it seemed like the same thing of like, oh well, I was playing with a hurt whatever. But LeBron has played through so many injuries, so you can't really be like, he's looking for sympathy.
With him too, I love LeBron. He's one of my favorite players on the court, not necessarily with the media and everything, but like every finals run he has, there's always some type, like it's the cramps, it's the hand, like there's always something. I don't know.
Guys are banged up all over the place.
That's what
here.
the playoffs are.
I mean, does Kawhi Leonard want a detailed description of what's been going on behind the scenes that's allowed him to get out there and whatever's going on with that calf or not going on with that calf? I mean, I like to hear information too, but I also respect the fact that it's really not in the team's best interest to give it out now. You want to make it all about, if we're going to get to the gambling world that's coming, well, I mean, we got to know what's going on here.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, I think it's New Centrist is saying actually in the chat, Kyle Lowry should not have told everyone he's injured. It is strange, and y'all are right. I definitely think that unless Nick Nurse was explicitly asked, like, hey, is there something wrong with Kyle Lowry? Because I know I did see a photo of him on Twitter wearing like this oven mitt type thing on his hand.
Yeah.
And people are like, what the hell is going on? Unless someone asks him about it, that's not information I'm going to be sharing in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't think it changes anything either for the record. Like, he's going to play basketball. The Bucks are going to play basketball. I don't think they're going to try to go at his thumb. I wouldn't think.
I mean,
although who knows? I guess. But I don't think it'll have any impact that it's out there.
I don't know. I understand the gambling thing you're saying, that we need to know that information, but
That's especially if the leagues are partnered,
for sure. But I don't know. As a player, like, I wouldn't really want if I could rein that information in and keep that to myself, I probably would. I wouldn't want the whole world to know that I was injured.
Right. I don't need everybody to know what time I showered today, if I showered today, when's the last time I showered.
I definitely don't need to know if you showered today, because I hope you did.
Right. Well, I'm trying to remember. No, I did, Jasmine.
Time is a construct.
I feel fresh today for the stream. I shaved too. Look, and I'm busting out the Chicago Sting today. Wimbish, what do you think? Do you know what the
It's
Chicago?
a soccer team.
Yes, it is a defunct soccer team.
Yeah, doesn't exist anymore.
That used to draw more. This Chicago Sting would draw more than the Chicago Bulls back in the 80s.
Sounds about right.
Can you believe that?
I can.
Indoor soccer over the NBA.
I
can't believe that.
The NBA struggled for a really long time before Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came along and had their little rivalry, and then MJ came along, and people don't remember that. I do.
Wilmington.
Yeah, these guys were playing when Bird and Magic were still there. It took Mike to show up in Chicago for that for the Bulls to surpass them. I mean, the Bulls were drawing 6,000 when Magic and Larry were running around.
So Tamberlin Richardson, who I think is our site expert for
Thunderous Intentions,
but
but is a Raptors fan,
just dropped in the chat saying Nurse and Lowry were both specifically asked what was wrong with his thumb.
So, I'd evade that question. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, and I know I actually did read the transcript of that a little bit, and Lowry kind of took off his little brace thing and was like, "It's fine, like nothing's wrong with me, leave it alone." Like,
okay, so yeah, I mean, that is kind of evading it.
But Nick Nurse went full. Give him a break, and
I understand
he's working hard.
Like,
and
a coach sticking up for their players that's great.
Yeah.
But I don't know, a question like that.
Ooh, Bucks run to
team
Bledsoe
information.
for a 3 from the corner. That puts us at 14-3. Eric Bledsoe's got to be feeling like the weight of the world is off his shoulders, as he has been struggling mightily. A lot of comments about that from his teammates too, who've just been trying to jump in and say, "Hey, you're okay." And Bledsoe, actually, his comments have been. He seems to be on his own side that he was going to turn it around.
yeah, I mean that's good. Sorry to go back to the Kyle Lowry thing, but he is wearing tape on his.
He's got it on his left hand.
On his left hand, so
Slash
I don't know.
thumb.
I honestly don't remember if that's new. I honestly don't remember if he wore that last game.
I'll bet you our Raptors.
Our Raptors fans in the chat, let me know if Kyle Lowry was wearing that last game, because I definitely don't
looks
remember.
familiar to me, but I also can't definitively
Maybe I'm
say.
calling attention to it now because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But Matthew Sayom says Warriors in 4.
Ooh.
Thank you for crushing everyone's hopes and reminding us that whoever wins the series, they will have to meet the Golden State Warriors at the end of it.
Well, and there's been a lot of news about the Warriors since that just got teed up. Let's bring it up here.
Yeah.
That first of all, Kevin Durant is going to be out for at least games. Oh, alley-oop to Giannis with the 2-hand flush.
Beautiful.
Is there a foul called too?
I don't know. It's 16-4.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until just now.
Toronto.
Well, and I do wonder. Ooh, that was a great catch by Giannis. It was not a great pass. Bledsoe left it a little bit short.
Yeah, it was a little low.
Yeah, but he's long enough to go and grab
He
it.
completely cleared Powell. Like, my God.
So very early in the game for the record here, but we could throw it out there. Are the Bucks going to blow him out here? Oh wow,
Okay,
Giannis
first of
0
all,
for 3 at
we
the
need
foul
to
line.
talk about his free throw shooting. What I've
Is
noticed.
he 0 for 3 now?
He's
from
0
the
for
line?
3 to start the game. And what I've noticed in a couple of games in this series and in previous series, the form of his free throw shooting, it's not consistent. Because sometimes he has a good form and he's following through. Sometimes he twists this hand, so it completely screws up.
He goes way too far up, I feel like.
Yeah, it's that's something that he's definitely going to need to work on in the offseason, because if you're going to be attacking the rim as much as you do and apparently getting foul calls, he's got to be able to hit those.
Yeah,
especially in crunch time.
If
People
he
don't
can
want
be
him-
a threat from beyond the line, that is a total layer to his game, similar to if he can add the 3-point shooting. That is just going to make him one of the best players in the league.
Raptors do not look ready to play right now. Just calling it how it is. This is Bledsoe for 3.
Eric
Step
Bledsoe-
back.
oh,
That's
nope.
no
He
good.
check, he check.
Kawhi the rebound. And Kawhi, for the record, looks fine running up and down the court right now. I just haven't noticed him offensively until now. Jumper, short, rebound to the Bucks. Okay. This is it's a nice start here, clearly, from Milwaukee State in the obvious. I've heard a lot of conversation the last couple of days as far as Milwaukee's concerned. Does Giannis have to have that really Bledsoe, another jumper, 18-4. Does Giannis have to have that really painful loss in the playoffs that so many great players have had to endure. Michael getting past Detroit, Magic with the turnover against the Celtics. Now, he had already won by that point. But there's just certain growth points in people's careers. LeBron with the Mavericks, where they lose in
Dirk
the playoffs.
with the Heat.
Where guys get strategized for this. We take away what you're good at, and then they have to reinvent themselves in the off season. So I don't know if that's. I mean,
that is a huge part of.
I think it's a fair question.
Yeah,
That's a great question.
That is a huge part of becoming a star in the NBA. That like most of the stars have this character arc where, like you said, they do have this big loss. That
They
I mean,
overcome
Dirk
something.
punching the wall at the Oracle.
Yeah,
like,
that is now framed. By
yes, but will be torn down.
Will be
Are
torn
they,
down
Are they
nonetheless.
tearing down the Oracle?
I actually don't know. I assume, but I honestly haven't looked into it that much. But no, I think that is a very good observation of when is that going to happen and is it going to be the series?
Yeah, and
Because-
I mean, like it just happened for Joel Embiid against the Raptors. Like his complete
Yeah.
despair after that shot that probably shouldn't have gone in, that somehow went in. Like every great player seems to have these moments where everything falls apart, the floor just falls out, and you rebuild from there. And that's actually probably what helps you be better, is because you're motivated by, I don't want to go back to that point. I want to win.
And I think it also might be. I don't actually. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. But
3-ball, Kawhi is in. That gets you to 18-9. That's a big shot. And all of a sudden, the Raptors have run off 5 in a row here. Although we're still on 7 on our screen, so I'm looking ahead. At any rate, so it's a steal and a breakaway, and Kyle Lowry with a layup. There's your
There we
9.
go. Here we
Okay,
go.
so right back in it. Down 9 with 6:15 to go here in the first quarter. George Hill is on, and so is Niko Mirotic as the Bucks making some substitutions. Giannis and Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe still out there. So we've lost Brogdon and we've lost Brook Lopez. Mirotic in the post against Van
very
Fleet.
small Van
Huge
Fleet.
edge. Fadeaway shot. Nope. Rebound to the Raptors.
But that is
Strange
if,
move to take on Van Vliet.
I mean, yeah, if Van Vliet's going to be down there guarding you, you definitely have to hunt him for that because he is not going to be able to guard Mirotic.
Nico covering on the other end gets beat into the lane, which ended up with a wide open 3 for Marcus Sol, but he missed it. Bucks the rebound. That was an
Oh,
Giannis barreling, Giannis losing the basketball, Giannis getting it back, Giannis missing a layup.
what's
Giannis
happening? Kick it back
tied
out.
up,
Look
didn't
out.
call it. Wow, Giannis is struggling right now. Out of rhythm.
See, the first drive that he had when he blew past them and he missed it. Okay, was that a 3 or 2?
That was a 2. He hit a jumper.
So the first attempt that he had, that was a good drive. But then to bring it back down and then not go straight up with it and that's the worst thing you can do. Either go straight up with it or kick it back out.
He's also expending a ton of energy to be effective right now.
Yeah, that whole rustling around in there, like,
Kawhi to the lane. Kawhi layup, good,
And one.
+1. Wow, Kawhi.
I mean, that's a good fallback shot to have after everything that just transpired in that play. But that could have gone horrifically wrong for Giannis if.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a total dud of a possession, but he got the bucket. Kawhi just stepped through 2 defenders beautifully, got a little short shot to go in the lane. I didn't see the foul, but they called it. So 1 free throw coming. Timeout on the floor. 4:54 to go here in the first half, as you see. We teed up at the start here a little bit with the finals. KD going to miss the first couple of games. Hasn't played, we want to go back since Game 5, the Western Conference semis. That's all the way back on May the 8th. So this final start on May 30th. So that's 22 days that he's not good for. And then there's a big break between Game 1 and 2, 2 days, and then 2 days coming back the other way. So that's another whole, 5 days? Am I doing that right? I think so. 5.
No, you won the times tables champion.
Yeah,
whatever.
so he's gonna. Well, bottom line is that he's gonna be out for about a month before they're gonna reconsider. Now, that injury, when you talk to experts, 4 to 6 weeks. So it's really also on the early side. So it seems like forever, but it's not. It shouldn't be surprising that he's not ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, it has implications for the finals. Like, facing a team that doesn't
Does
have
it?
Kevin Durant is.
Do you think it has implications?
For the Warriors, no. I mean, I think we just watched the Warriors.
it does.
The Warriors won 2 games against Houston without KD. The Houston team that was supposed to beat the Warriors which is still so bizarre to me, but whatever. And then they just waxed the floor with Portland in 4 straight games. And some of those games were tight. Like, they came up huge in those games. Steph Curry is playing like a finals MVP, potentially. I don't think that
But-
it's going to hurt them. I don't think that it's going to matter either way if KD's on the floor or not.
For sure. I mean, they played really well against Portland, and Portland, they were close games, as you said. But because of that, like, I think Milwaukee and Toronto are both better than the Blazers. So they
Yes.
face off against the Warriors without KD. I think that's a good series. Either of these teams, if they don't have KD, could probably win at least one of those first games, maybe the second one. And also, in that first game, the Warriors are coming off of a huge rest where they might be struggling to get in a rhythm.
Yeah.
So I think it has pretty big implications, but it also has implications for obviously the summer as well. If KD doesn't show up, like if he can't play in the finals and you're not there with the Warriors, like you probably don't feel attached to this championship as much as the other one.
I see. I mean, everyone's speculating on the summer, which is the fun thing to do as an NBA basketball fan. And his agent is out there saying that he's 100% undecided. And I mean,
Which also, is that redundant? Like 100% undecided? No, because undecided doesn't imply, for a little breakdown history, undecided doesn't imply that it's any sort of percentage. It's just I'm undecided.
Yeah, so isn't that all or none? Like, can you be 100% undecided?
I don't know.
Is that an absolute? That's what I'm asking, I guess.
I don't know. I don't want to break down the
can we get very
the terminology that Rich Kleiman used in his 3 words that he said about Kevin Durant.
Yeah. So first of all, I don't believe Rich Kleiman that he's 100% undecided. I think he's at least slightly leaning one way, or he's got it down to 3 teams at bare minimum.
Well, I think it's difficult because you look at some implications that can happen over the draft, like New York could trade things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams in the league who can do a lot of moves before free agency even starts, and so that can change drastically how he moves.
I'm sure he's undecided, but like, kind of like you're alluding to, he's got to have some type of a roadmap.
I mean, just recently we just learned that the Clippers are becoming a serious player in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes.
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, and I mean, that was recently. I know that we all said, like, hey, that'd be a great destination for him, but there was no, anything to back that up. Now it's an actual real threat, so maybe he is 100% undecided.
As much as I want the East to stay strong and get stronger so that they can compete a little bit better with the West, I would love that young Clippers team with Kawhi and KD.
Yeah.
there's a lot of fascinating options that's out there.
Nice cut to the basket.
Beautiful backdoor cut and catch with one hand by George Hill, and he laid it in on the left side. That was pretty. Okay, Brian Windhorst, who's
8 assists for Milwaukee, 1 for Toronto, by the way.
That's a good stat right there. Bucks by 10.
8 assists on 14 shots.
Kawhi trying to go one-on-one in Ilyasova.
Or 9 shots.
See,
rather.
that's what Giannis does not do.
That was a great play. He got in the lane. He kicked it out to Norman Powell for 3. Raptors within 7. What do you mean?
Giannis drives to the lane and he tries to muscle his way through it because throughout his season and throughout his career, that's tended to work. But through this series, that has not worked very well because you have Marc Gasol down there. He's a giant-ass body. You've got Kawhi Leonard guarding you. He's not going to let you
Great
just
defensive team in
muscle your way.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he needs to be looking for those dudes on the wing because there are guys standing there on the wing. There's Eric Bledsoe. There's Malcolm Brogdon, George Hill sometimes. Brooke Lopez has been out there waving. Nico, like anyone. He needs to be able to kick it out, one, so it gets those guys involved, but also so he's not wearing himself down, trying to muscle himself through everybody.
Chris Middleton fouled. Bucks or the Raptors are over the limit, so free throws coming here.
Oh, we're slow motion shoulder rub.
They're showing Drake rubbing Nick Nurse, who said that he didn't even feel that.
He thought it was
his
moment.
He thought it was his.
Is that
like,
possible?
Spirit.
Like, is there any way you don't know that I'm rubbing your shoulder now?
I think if you're like in that moment, an adrenaline moment, you're about to tie up a
Definitely,
series that you had no business tying apparently to the rest of the world. Like I think probably it's like, oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah.
But the bigger question.
No way.
No, I totally buy that he didn't feel it.
Yeah, there's been like, have you
Like,
ever,
I'm sure he felt it in his.
yeah, but it wasn't like
just-
something where he was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he
no,
knew Drake was sitting there. Like
Okay, I mean, maybe he thought it was one
shot
of his
blocked by
players. Maybe he
Elias.
thought it was one of his assistants.
Honestly.
Maybe he didn't know who did it. I could believe that, but I mean, you're gonna feel.
No,
it.
I totally buy that he didn't even feel like. He doesn't mean didn't feel it. He means it didn't register in
you
his
should
brain.
probably put that coffee somewhere else.
I nearly just dropped the coffee. Didn't happen. We're gonna ride or die with this coffee.
Jesus. But the bigger question about the Drake situation is, do you think that Budenholzer overreacted by saying, first of all, by kind of dissing Drake, saying whatever it is that Drake is, and then saying he should.
He doesn't know. That's got to be fake.
By
There's
calling
no way
him
he doesn't know what Drake
by
is.
calling him not like a rapper. That's not what he meant. His intention was saying Like, no fan or whatever Drake is should be allowed to do
So
that.
because he has a certain occupation, he can't be a fan? That
Apparently.
is the
I don't
most
know. Again,
ridiculous
I'm not breaking
thing.
down the language of what he said. I'm just saying, do you think Budenholzer...
No, I'm saying that what Budenholzer said was ridiculous on so many different levels.
Yeah.
Mike Budenholzer should not be worried about what
George
the hell...
Hill for 3!
About what the hell Drake is doing.
This is a fans league. Like, fans can get excited about their team no matter if they're a rapper, no matter if they're a celebrity, no matter if they're an average Joe.
Look, I think...
I love Jack Nicholson out in L.A. I love Spike in New York. Drake in Toronto is a thing.
Meek
They're
Mill
all
in Philly.
good for... Right. They're all... It's all good for the game.
I mean, I think...
Is it over the top for him to be giving the coach a back rub? Yes, it is.
Sure, but it's also like in the moment it was funny. I chuckled. Like,
Yeah.
it's you move past it.
I don't even know if it's
Why
over
is
the
that
top. It's
sticking,
just weird.
Why is that sticking in your brain of like, you just lost a game. You got blown out 120 to whatever it was. Why is that the
and
thing that you're...
I'm also confused. Like, is he using Drake as an excuse? Like,
Ron Burt, by the way, said that Nurse was in the zone, so didn't feel this.
I agree.
Can a coach be, quote, in the zone?
Absolutely.
Adrenaline, your heart beating super fast.
you can
you're
be
about
in
to
the
win this,
zone
like,
in
hell yes.
any occupation.
I don't know.
You can
I'm
be a
I'm
janitor and
never
be in the zone.
In this occupation, I don't think I've ever felt the quote zone.
Look, what I think is, I think Mike Budenholzer is a little salty because the most famous fan that I can think of that claims the Milwaukee Bucks is Aaron Rodgers. And
That's a great fan.
sure, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I think he's a douche, but
Well, Gucci Mane seems to be somehow, for some
somehow
reason,
attached to Giannis.
Yeah.
So that's sure, but I just, why are you so bothered by what Drake's doing? It's not like he came over to you and rubbed your shoulders.
Yeah, that would be totally different.
That would be different.
That'd be like fisticuffs. We need to fight. Like, what are you touching me for?
That should happen, by the way, in Game 6. Drake should make his way across the
Walk
court
all the way over there.
and rub Budenholzer.
You know what's going to be so funny?
if he shakes hands with.
When Game of Zones finally puts the shoulder rubbing
Yes,
in next
100%.
season.
27-20, by the way, as we go back and forth a little bit here. I would actually call this a great first quarter overall for the Raptors,
There it
minus the
is.
2 fouls for
Finds-
Siakam. Missed 3 by Hill, rebound to Powell. They looked borderline dead in the water at 16-4, and now Powell in the lane short shot missed it, but I think they've rallied nicely here.
Tamberlin in the chat said if Bucks are focused on Drake, he's winning, and that's totally right. Like, if you're giving him any attention whatsoever, he's doing his job well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a global ambassador. He's a brand ambassador. His job is to distract the other damn
Yeah.
team, and he's doing that. And he's getting to you as a head coach. That's a terrible look on you.
Right.
Also, Ron
Giving
Burt
him any
said-
attention whatsoever. Is
Also, Ron Burt
ridiculous.
said Drake has Bud in his feelings.
That's
I
a
like
good
the-
one.
I
That
like
is
the
that is a
reference.
champ chain right
I
there.
love the reference.
the way the fan should be is like, I'm going to go back in the day here, help people remember 90s NBA. But Reggie Miller used Spike Lee as motivation.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and
The Reggie
MJ
Miller
with the
choke. Yeah.
MJ with the fan across the way, wasn't that a thing?
MJ used Larry Miller, the Bucks owner, or the Utah Jazz owner, in a regular season game.
Who's
happened. That was Brogdon for 3, 10-point lead for Milwaukee.
This is a hell of a turnaround for Milwaukee's three-point shooting, by the way.
Where are they at right now? Do
I
you
have
it
no
in front of
idea,
you?
but just looking on the screen.
Just
and
judging by-
just judging by the eye test.
I'm pulling it up. Hang on. I am pulling it up, team.
Serge Ibaka with the missed jumper. Giannis with the rebound. See, there it is. He drove and he kicked it out. Malcolm pump fakes, steps in, drills a jumper. That's what you need. He listened to me. He must have watched this.
12-point
Must have.
game. No box score available.
Yeah, ESPN's box score is not.
Is
me
it,
just go to
is it
NBA.
cookies?
NBA's is great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to NBA.
What do you got? What's their 3-point percentage?
Who's?
The Bucks.
Milwaukee.
So Toronto's 36.4, Milwaukee's 57.1.
See, eye test.
What's the numbers?
50.
Of-
they
of
made
what?
half of them.
How many of, no, I want to know.
4 of 11, 4 of 11, 4 of 7.
4 of 7. Okay.
Eye test. I knew that just by looking at it.
Way to feel it.
Come on,
way to
man.
know it. Way to
Come
be
on.
there. Come on, ESPN.com. I rely on you. Without you, what would I be in life? Honestly.
I'd be
I think you'd be fine.
I would be. I just go to fansided.com.
Garden State.
But, in the middle of the game,
Garden State TTG says.
B-ball dudes, please show my comment. There you
it
go,
is.
buddy.
Garden State TDG says, so because Drake has money and fame, he can do what he pleases? Noted.
He has a whole plane
much.
now.
It's
I
how
don't.
it
I,
works.
I mean, that's how the
Ridiculous.
world moves. Unfortunately, do I like it? No.
Well,
but
it's like that bar in sicko mode, the 767 one. Like he now owns a 767.
that's fine. That's cute. I don't care. He works for the Raptors. He is a global ambassador for them. He is a hired hand for the Toronto Raptors. He didn't bother the other team. He didn't defame anyone. He didn't slander anyone. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything like Utah Jazz fans have been doing all season.
He didn't spill anything on the court.
He didn't spill anything on the court.
And
He,
I don't
he's
want to,
just
by the way,
chilling.
I don't want to make it real uncomfortable for everybody right now, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, gosh.
If Jack Nicholson
Uh-huh.
had given a little bit of a back rub, shoulder rub to Pat Riley,
No one would say.
no
jack
one would
shit.
say anything.
Yeah.
But here's Drake, African American guy, doing it.
Oh well, yeah.
right?
I don't think
Right?
that's. I don't know that that's what it is.
Oh, I mean,
I
don't know. I would
that's
hear-
a reach to me.
I don't think it is though. I would hear people who complain about Spike all the time. I never heard anyone compare him about Jack. I'm just
Yeah, I've
saying.
never heard anybody compare about Jack.
Nobody
Nicholson.
complains about Jack. Oh, Spike, Spike, Spike. Oh, maybe it's because you don't like the African American guy in the front row there. Now, what's going on?
When it comes to Drake, I don't
you
think that's what it is.
You feel me?
I'm not giving you a high five, but yeah.
Come on.
I think it's a possibility.
You know, okay, I'm not wrong though. I don't think I'm wrong.
I don't think that. I mean, I think it's a little reach, but
you really?
As the only African American on this stage, I guess I'll answer for the entire nation of African
Well,
Americans.
I mean, I heard it talked about from a bunch of African American players, and I bought into it.
Well, sure. My biggest issue, I don't give a damn what Drake's doing. If we're talking about fans and their ridiculous behaviors, let's focus on the fans who are yelling at the actual black athletes playing on the court inappropriate things and racist things. That's all I'm saying, is why are we concerned with Drake giving shoulder rubs to the head coach of the team that he works for?
I think Drake gets flat because he's just flat out corny all the time.
Yeah.
So
That he is. But I mean, I just appreciate him though.
I do too. I love,
having a good time.
aside from the shoulder rub, I thought the shoulder rub was weird. Outside of that, I love celebrity fans, especially when they're that excited about the team. That just gets me more excited about the NBA in general.
I'm pro weirdness. I don't know if you guys have seen the Carm
Oh,
Commute.
I've noticed.
Dude, so am I. My favorite player is Kyrie Irving.
Okay, that's
That's
Jasmine
actually,
and I the
that's
other
actually
day,
not true.
we
I thought
came
about
up
that,
with-
and that's actually not even a true statement.
we came up with an all weirdo first team NBA.
Yeah.
It was great. They all had K's in their first name.
Do you have it off the top of your
Well,
head right over there? Tip of your tongue?
I do. Do you
Okay,
know?
go ahead.
Yes, Kawhi, Kyrie. Now I'm drawing a blank. I don't
Wow.
know why.
Can't show up in big moments. Kawhi, Kyrie, Clay, KD, and
Yes.
Joakim Noah.
I love Joakim Noah.
He's an all-time weirdo, and I love him.
By the way, where did our promo video for tonight go? If people want to watch that, I'd like to see.
Promo video. Yeah, you can. Why don't you follow us on the Fansided Instagram page at Fansided. That's just the Instagram handle.
There's a great one up there tonight. I highly recommend it. Just for the record.
Yeah, it's
There's
great.
another good one right before the one you're referencing.
Really?
Featuring my handles. Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. So here, let's. Well, you guys just teed up a lot of things, but let's talk about Clay. Yeah.
Hold on, it's the start of the second quarter, is it not?
Oh yeah, it is.
Hey,
that's
Richard.
true. That is true.
Do we have a one?
This game is going fast.
Yeah, it is. The first quarter's already
I
over.
didn't register with me.
So we're gonna have a guest on the show here any moment.
A
now,
repeat
too.
guest.
A repeat
Ding, ding,
guest
ding.
indeed.
Pew, 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 pew. Yes.
This is what we do on the show here. Brandon Robinson's going to join us here in a matter of moments.
Seconds, milliseconds. I don't know, maybe. But
I got confidence. As we wait for him, let me just bring.
what did?
He's ready. All right.
Okay.
Hey, okay. Never mind. Let us
pray.
pray. Let's put that coffee down. Let's put our
Headset on.
Our headset on, and let us bring in Brandon Robinson.
Not Brandon Robinson. This
did I
is
say?
Brandon
Brandon Jefferson.
This is Brandon Jefferson, who we spoke to during Tuesday's
Brandon
game
Robinson,
of the
Brandon
Eastern
Jefferson.
Conference Finals.
I'm drinking coffee.
While Carm's figuring out who the hell we're talking to, make sure you guys follow Brandon Jefferson
Yes.
on Twitter at Jefferson_hoops. Make sure you read all of his content at the Step Back. Brandon will be joining us in a couple of seconds.
Maybe.
Hey.
Oh, there he is. Back in
Back
business and
again.
ready for more. Brandon, what's going on?
Nothing much.
Oh, wait,
guys.
hold on. Before we
weird first quarter, but it's happening.
Okay, I love your shirt. I love to shoot the shot. Shea Serrano shout out. I love it. I didn't get my shirt because I forgot to order one. But moving on.
That's nice little.
Yeah.
Your future is bright though, Jasmine. You'll get there. You just said weird first quarter. Indeed, it was. What's your takeaway?
I think as expected, Milwaukee kind of came out hot. Eric Bledsoe really pushed the button, got into the paint. He's been struggling from the perimeter, but he earned the mini LeBron nickname for a reason. So he definitely put that to the test early on. And then Toronto kind of stayed in it. They were hitting threes early, like you guys were talking about, but they ended up 4 of 11, and the Raptors kind of matched them at 4 for 7. So looked like the Bucks were going to walk away with it. Then Toronto stayed with them, and then the Bucks kind of picked the momentum up at the end.
What are you seeing from Giannis? Because to me, it looks like he's sort of fighting himself.
It just kind of seems like he's trying to do too much. Jasmine made a great point about it, that he's not a facilitator or a playmaker, really. So when he gets downhill and he has those 2-on-1 advantages or someone comes to help, he doesn't see the kick-out pass, but he's still like, I'm 6'11", I'm the Greek freak, I'll gyro step right around you guys and scoop this in, but it's not working so far. Maybe he'll make the changes, maybe he won't, but he's still one of the better players in the game.
Yeah, that's definitely something he'll have to work on in the offseason. Looking forward ahead to the finals, Brandon. We talked about KD missing the first couple of games. What do you see as that being the impact for the Warriors in the finals?
I think really the only impact it would make is if the Bucks get there. The Raptors have kind of struggled in this series, and the Bucks kind of put a blueprint out there where you just load up on Kawhi and they have the Pascal Siakams and Norman Powell of the world to beat you. And Steve Kerr and the Warriors are perfectly fine playing that way. In 2015, they had Bogut on Tony Allen. That kind of turned the Memphis series around and helped them get their first chip. With Milwaukee, I think Giannis is just someone they have to throw as many bodies as possible at. And without KD, that only really leaves them with Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala as the two who could probably hold their own without much help. But getting KD back would definitely be a big help, and that probably would get the series under, I would say, 5 games at most if they had a healthy KD.
Yeah. Brandon, thanks again for joining us. Good to have you on again. There's been some talk about Demarcus Cousins coming back for the finals. He hasn't played a whole lot with this team.
I'd rather have you, Brandon.
in the regular season or in the playoffs. Does that help or hurt the Warriors? And, would you even consider playing him in the finals if he's available?
Sadly, I'm not 6'11", 270, so I don't know how much I would help Carm. But, thank you for the push. But
you're a chemistry guy, Brandon. You're all about you're a team guy.
Just some numbers since we're talking about Boogie, I want to throw out. He 16-8-3 for the season, 48, 27, 73 shooting split. Game 1 against the Clippers was his first ever playoff game. The Warriors won by 17, and Demarcus Cousins was a minus 17 for the game. And then in the 30 games he played this year for Synergy, he had 44 pick-and-roll possessions, gave them 0.795 points per possession. And that's just not the Demarcus Cousins that we've known for his entire career. So if he can come back, give them a little something, I think he would help most in those weird lineups that they've been throwing out in like the second and fourth quarter that has Clay and a bunch of bench guys. Maybe get some spot minutes there. But if we're thinking the old Demarcus Cousins is coming back, he's nowhere near that yet.
Yeah, I almost wonder if kind of like a zone defense, how it just looks strange when you first see it, if throwing him out there might be something that whoever ends up facing off with the Warriors just isn't prepared for, and it kind of gets them out of their groove for a little bit.
That definitely could happen. Both these teams have big guys they love to play, Marc Gasol and Brook Lopez, so having the big body of Cousins would definitely be helpful. I just don't see any way he plays over 15 or 20 minutes. Steve Kerr has been talking about the whole time that he's just not in shape yet. They did say he practiced with them today, so it's a good first step, but I don't think he'll ever get to where he was on the path when we saw him in the Clippers series.
You can follow Brandon on Twitter at Jefferson_hoops. He covers the Bucks. He writes for the Step Back. He knows his b-ball. Your life will be better if you follow Brandon. So don't be an idiot. Follow Brandon.
Great slogan.
Great stuff, Brandon. Good to see you again. We'll see you later in the series. Hey, you think the winner of tonight's game wins the series?
I do, and I think that would be the Bucks. Like I said before, Eric Bledsoe has been very, very penetrative and attacking the hoop. I think really this game is going to come down to Eric Bledsoe and Danny Green, whichever one of those two has the better game. They both been struggling noticeably from the perimeter for each. Danny Green, I think, is shooting like 32%, sorry, from the corner threes, and during the year he shot 50% on corner threes. So if he can pick that up, and I'll give my 3 to 5 recommendation once again.
There it is.
If he gets 3 to 5 threes, I think the Raptors could take this game, but I'm Bucks all the way.
You're in the book. Noted. We'll be paying attention. Brandon, good stuff. We'll see you in game 6. All right.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Brandon
you guys.
Jefferson. Brandon Jefferson Carman at Jefferson_hoops. Things get hectic on the show. People make mistakes. Nobody freak out. I love Brandon. Brandon knows his stuff. Does great work, and we thank him for joining us.
Well, he was also perfectly spot on last time when he gave his Marc Gasol take with 3 for 5, and he hit it on the money. So I definitely think that that's going to happen again because everything Brandon says comes true. So
I hope to have a take that's correct one day myself.
yeah, you should hope for that.
Lots of takes that have been correct.
Name
I'm not going to
one.
give him the benefit of
Are you
the doubt.
serious?
No, he
You
hasn't.
don't have any takes that have ever been
No,
correct? I'm
sure
trying to
I've-
defend you.
I'm sure I've had one.
He's had one probably.
Okay. I mean, listen, I believe in you.
No,
We'll
I've
see.
had some good takes here.
There
and
you go.
Here and there.
Here and there, huh? All right. Well, let's rewind back to Klay Thompson.
Ooh, my favorite.
Because you guys went through all the Ks and the weirdness. So Klay, a lot of news today coming out. Klay's news was that he did not make the All-NBA team. There's a first team, there's a second team, there's a third team.
Did you watch the clip though where he found out that he didn't make the All NBA team?
I did.
It's
and
pretty fantastic.
He gave the eye roll. He was very disappointed, and deservedly so. I mean, if you look, the first team has Giannis and Paul George at the forwards, Steph Curry, James Harden at the guards, and Nikola Jokic at center. Okay, anybody have any beef
No.
with that?
No.
I mean, I think people can say Kevin Durant. Wait, Kevin Durant's on All NBA.
KD's on second team.
Yeah,
I believe,
so I
right?
think people were complaining
I was
about
looking
Paul
at this
George
earlier,
over KD.
and I know you're about to list the second team. I was actually thinking if I had second team 5-on-5 with first team, I actually think the second team might win.
Well, KD is a better player than Paul George. To me, that the Paul George on
Yeah,
the first
I
team
think-
is
But Paul George had a
ridiculous.
great regular season.
Paul
KD
George had
didn't.
a great first half of the regular season. Up until Valentine's Day, everyone was like MVP, and then he fell off, and so did OKC. He had injuries.
Yeah.
He got banged up.
But-
Kevin Durant had a consistent season throughout.
But he's been the reason we're kind of like, oh, Kevin Durant is because his playoffs have been remarkable. So
That's fair, but it's like
I mean, he had a great regular
I just
season.
can't imagine stepping up and voting
Yeah.
and saying that Paul George is better than Kevin Durant. That's just me. But maybe I'm not trying to take anything away from Paul George. Second team: Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving at the guards. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Durant and Kawhi at the forwards, and Joel Embiid at center.
Still don't have a problem.
I could
Would you
swap.
rather-
I wouldn't mind if any of those were really like some of those guys could swap into first team. You could flip flop those, but I'm fine with both first and second team.
Would you rather have Clay or Damian or Kyrie? Clay-
Well, here's the thing. Clay didn't have a good regular season because there was an argument that he shouldn't have even made the All-Star game. So I get Clay as a body of work is a great player.
It is about this year.
It is about this year. It is about the regular season. These ballots were already handed before the playoffs even started, so that's how it's judged. Kyrie Irving had one of his better seasons that he's had throughout his career. So despite all of the off-the-court BS,
Yeah,
Klay Thompson
this is about what did you do on the court?
yeah, Klay Thompson didn't have a very good season to start out. He had hot games here and there, but the entire consistency throughout was okay.
I'm just double checking here because correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Kyrie miss a bunch of time this year?
Kyrie played in 67 games.
67 games.
Yeah.
How many Clay play in?
I have no idea how many games Klay played in.
I'm just on the fly here. I should have.
Yeah, well,
Klay
and that's,
Thompson played in 78 games.
and that's kind of what Clay said too. Is that when you go to so many straight finals, it takes more than a couple All NBA guys. Well, this isn't about how many times you went to the finals in a row. This is about this year.
Yeah, and again, I think Kyrie deserves his second team spot. Klay has an argument to be on the third team, but he wasn't better than Kyrie Irving in the regular season. Klay Thompson did not have a standout regular season regardless of what he's doing in the playoffs, and that's not how this is measured.
I mean, Kyrie's numbers in the regular season he averaged 24 a game.
Oh, that was a great
5
look.
rebounds, 7 assists. Bledsoe for 3, no good. Rebound tipped around.
Giannis does seem to be looking toward the corners a little bit more than he was
listened
last
to me.
game.
He listened to me and Brandon. So all I got to say is y'all should watch this. So
you listen. There's no doubt these guys should be paying attention to Jasmine, and their careers would.
I'm just saying.
You know, they would just rise up.
If
and
Kyrie
raise.
listened to me, he wouldn't think the world's flat. So that's all.
Klay averaged 21.5, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists. His PER was 16.7. Kyrie was 24, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. His PER was 24.37. Wow. You can't. It's
a great PER.
You can't. There's no argument. So there isn't. There's no argument. So let's go to the third team, which perhaps we'll have a little bit of a better argument. The third team, as I try to find it. I'm scrolling through a million things here. LeBron James is on the third team.
Which is weird.
Blake Griffin is your other forward. Rudy Gobert is your center. The guards are Russell Westbrook and Kemba Walker. So Kemba and Russell both have better numbers than Klay.
Say that again?
Kemba and Russell have better numbers than Klay?
Kemba and Russell. Kemba had a career year. Russ averaged
Russell
a triple-double for the
was-
4th straight season or 3rd straight season.
An inefficient triple-double.
An inefficient
But
triple-double.
still a triple-double.
But a triple-double that also 3 years ago got him an MVP. That was a nice spin move by Chris Middleton, by the way.
He averaged a triple-double. His PER is 7.
Ilyasova open on the 3. No, none of these people have good
His
coverage.
PER, which measures everything, for those who don't know, I'm assuming that if you're watching this chat, you're a diehard NBA fan, you understand PER. But just in case you don't, that takes in
Player efficiency rating.
All player efficiency rating, adds up all your good, subtracts all your bad. I mean, Westbrook is 5 points higher. That's significant.
Then who?
Than Klay.
Yeah, see, that's all I'm saying. Like, I love Klay Thompson. I love watching him play. I love his personality, but he did not have a great year. And people are forgetting that, just like people are forgetting that Paul George had a great first half and not a great second half, whereas KD had a great season. Klay Thompson, like I said, people were saying that he shouldn't have made the All-Star game. People were saying that Luka should have had his spot over him. Like, come on.
That's why.
No, that's literally legit. That's not even coming from me. Luka shouldn't have been on the All-Star team, but people were saying he should not have been in the All-Star game.
And why does this matter? Well, it matters because if he was named to one of the All-NBA teams, then
Fred VanVleet for 3, by the way.
then he would have been eligible for the 5-year Supermax contract. So he would have gotten paid $221 million. So now he's going to have to survive on 5 years and $191 million.
Will he even be able to afford milk?
Yeah. In San Francisco, who knows?
Dunk, by the way, for Kawhi. We've got a tie ball game, 34 apiece. The Raptors have come all the way back from being down 12 early. Beautiful feed on the break from Siakam to Leonard, and we got a ball game here.
It's this bench again. 16 points for Toronto off the bench, Milwaukee 5.
The bench that Gilbert Arenas finds annoying, by the way. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but Gilbert Arenas on a podcast said that the only thing that bugs him about the NBA today is all these bench players cheering on the starters, because if he's a bench player, he's trying to steal your spot.
Imagine being that much of a...
What a dumb take. I'm sorry.
What even is the word for that?
Because if you are, let's see, I'm trying to think of a very, I'm trying to think of a very disparaging difference between the starting point guard and their backup point guard. Think of a team, someone.
Think of a team.
Think of a team that has a very good starting point guard and a terrible backup point guard, or
it's not
even a competition. That you know that you're not going to take that starting point guard spot.
Okay, how about
Terry Rozier is not taking Kyrie Irving's spot.
No, he's not. But I mean, we could. No.
Sean Livingston's not taking Steph Curry's spot.
Well, it's also you're a part of a team, right? Don't you want good things?
Yeah, you cheer on your teammates.
Yeah.
So somebody just walked in the door. I feel terrified. It's Dan Selke at
Hello, Dan.
At 8:19 at night. Dan Selke, winteriscoming.net for all your Game of Thrones. Not supposed to be in the office right now at 8:20. My heart just sank. There he is.
Hey, Selke Kim.
Dan, what are you doing here?
Doing a live cast with winteriscoming.net superfans of the Wicked Club, our Patreon-funded effort
Are you going in the conference room?
Are you drinking some wine?
You want to come sit on? You want to sit on my lap, or? You wanna,
Well, he's not sitting on my lap, so
got-
don't point over here.
You want to get Jasmyn off the set?
Right there.
The camera's right there in the middle.
I'll just be right
Wow.
I feel.
The stream
You guys
just
are going to
got
be very
hijacked.
confused.
I feel violated.
That was our Game of Thrones expert, our Game of Thrones aficionado,
I always-
Dan Selke, winneriscoming.net.
To Dan's credit, I always wanted to do that on his show, just to walk in the middle and be like,
Getting back on topic, though,
Yeah.
JB Hoops 2 said the Wizards. The Wizards. Point
That's a
guard.
good one, yeah.
There we go. Like, come on.
John Wall, and who's the backup on the Wizards? I
Can't even name it.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm someone.
And what's
someone
your point on this, Jasmyn? I'm forgetting.
What's my point on this? Is that some backup players know that they're not going to steal the starter spot. So why the hell am I? Gilbert Arenas making the point of like you're trying to steal the starter spot. That's not going to happen. 99% of the time, that's not happening.
And
I mean,
Gilbert, it's a team, pal.
You can be on your grind seeking a starting point guard spot and still be excited that your team is doing good things.
Yeah.
Like, two things can be true here.
Unless it's two young guards that are entering the league at the same time, fighting for a starting position, or it's a one-year guard versus a rookie. Like I get it.
Yeah.
But it's Steph Curry. Hey, Gucci Mane is in attendance in Milwaukee, by the way, with a very
God.
huge chain. Christian Yelich, the man who's been destroying my St. Louis Cardinals and everyone else.
T.O.'s there. Eating
Terrell
popcorn.
Owens.
Get your
Love
popcorn ready.
And there's
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Did you hear what he had to say about Game of Thrones?
No, I don't listen to Aaron Rodgers talk.
Aaron Rodgers went off on Game of Thrones. He was very unhappy with the ending.
Well, people are very unhappy with how Aaron Rodgers talks to people, so can't have it all.
I mean, it was super honest. I'd actually appreciate if Aaron Rodgers would be like, you know what? If you could just tee up Mike McCarthy the way he teed up Game of Thrones, that'd have been kind of fun and entertaining. Missed three by Nico. Raptors the rebound, and we get a whistle and a foul. Oh, they're going to call an illegal
Marc
screen
Gasol
on
is
Marc Gasol.
I am so sick of Marc Gasol acting like every single call is the end of the
Like
world.
he doesn't weigh 5,000 pounds and isn't getting bodied. Come on. You move at a very slow rate, my guy.
Ooh, Marc Gasol got cracked by Giannis on the screen too, and then he got cracked in the head. Then he ran out.
Okay, I love the effort. This and then holding up the hand to still try and get a hand up.
Ooh,
He does not want the medicals, the doctors.
the trainer is out there trying to get at that head, and it's not working particularly well for Marc Gasol right now. Good effort though by Mark. Way to go, buddy.
Nice try, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, you did a good imitation of what just happened there.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
You gotta just
We
gotta
tried.
you gotta add on a little bit of you throw a couple tears in there and we're good.
Yeah, or just I don't know.
I mean, hey
Some
Mark,
profanity, I'm sure.
if that happened to me, I'd have the same reaction. I'd probably be curled up in fetal position in the corner.
Yes, we know neither of you are taking charges in an NBA game.
No.
Apparently, I'm
Or
the only one
junior
that
high-
would.
Or junior high game.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, maybe.
I'll be making my money in the league by being a hustle person, by getting all of those charges
not worth
that'll
it.
lead me to an NBA championship.
I get buckets.
Okay. If you want to see Mark get buckets, check out the fan-sided Instagram story and watch him get buckets. He doesn't.
Or not so much.
Or not. It's
Ooh,
terrible.
tough layup for that was everybody misses a shot every now and then, even if it's a dunk. That was a great
Back-to-back dunks.
two dunks in a row. These things happen. Kyle Lowry with a sweet drive with the right hand and the finishers. Giannis down the lane misses a dunk.
Speaking
Wow.
of dunks,
Wow.
he watched the fan-sided Instagram story and saw that you did that, so he just was like, "Shout out, Carm, miss."
I mean, Giannis is missing layups tonight that he never misses. Now he missed a dunk that he doesn't miss. Nico for three,
Now
no
he passed
good.
up a look to Giannis. I don't know. Giannis was okay. Wide open down the lane. Pascal Siakam and Kawhi Leonard's trying to go one-on-one on everybody because that's his game, and he makes it.
Kawhi missed him on the cut, but the nice little pull-up, and it's a 38-37 game as Giannis is about to drill a three. Bang. 1 point game with 4:24 to go here. This is exciting stuff.
Well, this game has drastically changed from what they were up 16-4 or 22-4 or something at the start of the first quarter. That was
Their largest lead was 14, yeah.
yeesh.
I mean, this is now nervous time if you're a Bucks fan. That's for sure.
I don't know if it's nervous time. It's the second quarter still.
still playing
There's
at
a
home.
lot of time.
Oh, I don't know, man. You've lost your last two. You had a big lead in the first quarter.
I mean, it's the first quarter.
Right, but
They're playing a little funky right now. They need to get into their system. They're missing guys on open looks. That was a late find to George Hill, by the way, from Nico.
And a
could have
bad
been a
pass.
travel too from Hill, but it ends up in Brogdon's
Floater.
hands, and his short shot in the lane is good, so the Bucks back up 1.
I mean, we didn't expect. I mean, yes, Game 4 was a blowout, and but these two teams, I expected it to go 7 games, so I'm not that surprised.
Great performance from Brogdon so far. 12 points, 5 of 9 from the field.
Pascal, lovely spin move.
I mean, the Bucks had to come back late to win Game 1. They did it convincingly, but that was a grinded-out game. They routed them in Game 2, but then they didn't play well in Game 3, lost in double overtime, and then got smoked in Game 4. So I shouldn't be surprised that this game is close. But
Tamberlin is right. Bucks are tight. They're playing very tight right now.
that's what I'm saying, though. At the end of the day, I mean, there's a little bit of tightness going on in Milwaukee that I haven't seen, especially with Giannis.
Especially at home.
That too.
I mean, are we going to find out after this game or tomorrow, like Giannis is playing with some sort of injury?
No, I think we're gonna. I mean, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I just think that if this goes south for the Bucks, which I'm not saying it's going to, but if it does, it's going to be one of those moments where Giannis is going to have to be a little reflective in the offseason. In and out 3 from Kawhi, no good. Rebound to the Bucks. They run out to Giannis.
And they're just closing in on him, and he's not passing it. This is
Traveled.
what I mean by you need to find the open man standing on the three-point line or just kick it back out. And you could tell before that play even developed that that's what was going to happen.
That was a bad possession for the Raptors. Siakam had a layup, passed it up, kicked it out, and
what
even worse,
is
Van Fleet had a wide open
this?
3, didn't shoot it, gave it to Kawhi, and then he traveled on the drive. That was a bad job.
Yeah. Kind of like you said earlier, he's trying to do things that were working for him in the regular season when the stakes weren't as high, but now with a stronger defense, it's just not working
Well,
for
what
him.
I'm discovering in just this series alone, like, does Giannis only have one move, the Euro step? Because he just keeps driving downhill, 1-2, and then drives into 3 people and gets fouled or gets a turnover or some. And in the regular season, like you said, he was making that, but you need to go to something else because it's not working.
It's almost like he's a semi-truck. You know how they have those emergency ramps for when they're going down mountains
Yes.
and highways?
Giannis for 3, nope.
It's almost like he
There
has
it
those
is.
emergency ramps in his shooters and he's not using them.
Yeah, he's not getting his guys involved. He's forcing everything. He's trying to do far too much when he doesn't need to because this team has been successful all season by playing as
Gucci
a
Mane's standing up.
team.
He's getting in the action. Gucci Mane's calling plays.
He's calling for him to take
Step back 3, yes. Kyle Lowry, step back over Brooke Lopez. That was a sweet move.
I'm still so confused about Gucci Mane. Does he have a house in Milwaukee or
Who the
something?
hell is Gucci Mane?
He's a rapper.
Should I know that?
I mean, you don't
Not
listen to rap
really.
music, right?
Yeah, but I mean, how
He's not like
Danny
as,
Green for
how in the
free?
mainstream is Gucci Mane?
not nearly the level that Drake is. Not even close.
Yeah, you know Drake, so there's the difference.
Would I know any song from Gucci Mane off?
You probably have maybe heard a song that he's featured on, but I doubt you've heard a Gucci Mane original.
Okay.
And I honestly doubt you've heard a feature song either.
Yeah.
Well, he looks good.
If they could.
I'll give him that.
He's got great teeth.
good teeth.
Yes,
I
amazing
didn't
teeth.
notice the teeth.
He's
Okay.
he also lost a lot of weight after he got out of prison. So good for him for working on his own body.
There you go. Giannis just got accosted on his way to
Look
the
at
hole.
those. Look at those chompers.
Good teeth. You're absolutely right. Great sunglasses too on that pick. Free throw.
I don't know about that.
They're
There we go.
big and bodacious.
Giannis makes a free throw.
There we go. Giannis. Way to find the bottom of that. You know what I'm thinking about with Giannis? You know how LeBron hung out with Akeem Olajuwon and worked on his footwork in the post?
I don't, but do tell.
He did,
Mm-hmm.
and LeBron became much more dangerous in the post, and then now you see that turnaround jump shot that has become money for him.
Yeah, signature.
I mean, I think that is a next level move by Giannis. He should kill guys in the post.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that we've been harping on his offseason to-do list is developing a consistent jumper mid-range game because, I mean, the other thing is not a lot of guys in the league have very good mid-range games anyway because you have, the two best guys, in my opinion, who have, the most complete mid-range game are Kawhi and KD, and they could just kill anybody in the league with that. Giannis needs to be able to develop that, like you said, so that he's not forcing his way into the paint and turning the ball over, getting fouled, and missing free throws.
Giannis should play some soccer this summer to get that footwork built up.
This is also Danny Green missed 3 from the corner. Again, Siakam passing up an opportunity down low to go up. and challenge, take it strong for a layup, get a foul, something.
Ooh.
And instead,
Now he goes up strong.
and now Giannis goes the other way and throws down.
The mean mug is back.
That's why he does that, and for those moments. But he needs to be more efficient. He's got 13 points, 5 of 12 from the field, 5 assists. But you can't do that for an entire game.
Fadeaway shot in the baseline by Kawhi. Rims, no good. It's almost similar to the shot that won Game 7, but this one came out. Rebound to the Bucks. Only in the way that it danced down the rim. It was not a shot from the corner. Here's Bledsoe on the drive. Gets it swatted, but a foul. Free throws coming for Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time of the year where these things get exploited. Players that have huge seasons, like last year's Ben Simmons and his three-point shot, everyone's like, wow, this is one of the greatest young players we have. And then the Celtics just disrespect him from beyond the arc because he can't shoot, and it gets exploited. So we see this like every year from some of the best players in the league and see what's getting exploited. That's what a 7-game series is. Like, coaches are strategizing for the weaknesses of the other players.
I also want to name, this dude's going to win the MVP. It's not like he
I
hasn't
don't know,
been
2 months from now, whatever that is.
Right. Well, but he's been preposterous, phenomenal, ridiculous, outstanding. And he's so effing talented that he could even be better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This isn't the performances that we've seen this series haven't been great, but it's not a giant blemish on his track record.
I almost I want Giannis to be in a finals just so that he's on that big of a stage, but I almost kind of want Milwaukee to lose just so that he has that bit of adversity of that fuel to fuel him.
Now that we brought that up, I kind
of
do like looking back at this series as that moment that Giannis became great and
Pascal
motivated.
drained a three.
Not that he's not
almost.
motivated now, but
that was a tough 3-2. Hand in his face in the corner, wasn't really set, and he hit it.
Pascal might have a moment like that this postseason as well.
No question.
Yeah, I mean,
because he'll probably either lose in this series or lose in the finals. So there's going to be that moment where you're so close, you kind of can taste it, but can't quite have it.
Yeah, see that.
Oh wow!
Again and again, so many plays of the exact same thing.
Oh
wow! The Bucks. Yeah,
Giannis did exactly what Jasmyn was talking about. Again in the lane. Again, everybody collapsed on him. Give Nick Nurse and the Raptors credit. They figure out how to guard him. Not that it takes rocket science, but they've done a better job than anybody in the league.
Yeah.
And he turned it over.
And he's also not good. Like, when he does find that open person, he's not even good at getting that ball there. Like, he just needs to become a better facilitator, and that's the one thing he needs to work on, because it's happened like 5, 6, 7 times already.
Kind of like
the first half.
Like I said last stream, if you could take some of the good things from Ben Simmons and the good things from Giannis and stick them together, that'd be an awesome player. And like you said, you kind of have just LeBron James.
Yeah.
Last play of the half was Kyle Lowry bombing in an inbounds pass that was deflected, and we are at the half. Bam, bam.
Here he comes with his.
Was Richard Millie rocking?
All right, so I want to start
Thank you
off.
for joining, Richard.
I want to start off halftime before we get back into talking about serious basketball things.
Yeah.
I do want to.
My love life.
No, I hope not. You're engaged, so I hope there's not any new stories about
I
that.
just figured you want to hear about my engagement. Go, but where
I don't.
are we going?
I want to do a little game with you guys. All right.
Ooh, Jasmyn Jasmyn
I got games. I got
Jasmyn
jokes.
got games.
All right. So yesterday I spent a certain amount of time sifting through the Raptors and Milwaukee's tweets and finding some obscure things that maybe I thought was interesting. You might not, but it made me laugh a little bit.
Chasen Randall, by the way, is the backup point guard on the Wizards. Go ahead.
There we go. What a
Chasen.
name.
Chasen?
Chasen Randall.
Exactly. My bad.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring up a tweet. We're gonna put it up on the TV so the viewers at home can see. And I want you guys. The name is blurred out. The handle is blurred out. I want you guys to guess. See if you can figure out who tweeted this tweet. Richard, can we throw the first one up on the board, please? First one is, I heard that Irina Shayk is single. Should I DM her, or do you guys think it's too early?
I love the.
Who do we think? Who do you think tweeted this?
First of all,
That looks like a Joel Embiid tweet, but I know it's players from this series.
I heard that Irina Shayk is single. Should I DM her, or
who
do you
the
guys
hell
think
is
it's
Arena
too early?
Shayk? Just a very
Ha ha ha! I'm assuming it's a model. I didn't look it up. I didn't
Russian
have time.
top model
Russian
Arena
top
Shayk.
model. So there you go, Irina
And
Shayk.
you're saying that it's somebody on the Bucks.
It's
and
someone
the
that has
Raptors?
been on the court today. Yes. Who tweeted this tweet?
Good question.
Norm Powell.
Norman Powell? Okay.
That's my guess.
I'm going to go with Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry. All right. You're both wrong. It's Giannis.
Really?
Yes, Giannis Antetokounmpo. January 17th, 2015, he tweeted he shot his shot at Irina Shayk. He didn't add her, though. So
Well,
it's
he
kinda weak
didn't
sauce.
really shoot his shot. He was like, should I shoot my shot?
Yeah,
Even
he
though
asked. It got over 300 responses, so there's that. All right, moving on to number 2.
A little playboy.
What year was
Giannis.
that again?
Okay.
What year was that again?
2015. So,
Okay, so not incredibly long ago. He was
yeah.
in the league at that point, right? Or,
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, tweet number 2. 2 old ladies just told me in the elevator, I think you're somebody. I answered them, everybody
Wow.
is somebody.
That is I know it's not, but that is a Kyrie tweet like, to a T.
It is not Kyrie. 2 old ladies just told me in the elevator, I think you're somebody. I answered them, everybody is somebody. Tweeted September 21st, 2012. Who tweeted that tweet?
So it's got to be somebody famous.
Well, it's on someone in this game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Norman Powell's not famous. And, like, that dude walks down the street, nobody knows who
but
the
it
hell
could
he is.
be, it could be just somebody they were like, maybe I saw them at a Raptors game or a Bucks game.
I was going to try to
I already looked through all of Kawhi's tweet history today, so I know it's not him.
It's not Kawhi because Kawhi's
Kawhi's
tweeted
not that
3
funny.
times. I didn't pull anything from Kawhi. He's not fun.
I'll go with who am I going with? I'll go with Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon?
No.
No.
Fred VanVleet?
You're both wrong. It is Serge Ibaka. Boom.
Serge.
Serge is a deep individual. Let me tell you, he's got some deep tweets in his history. All right, final tweet. Tweeted October 11th, 2016. Tim Tebow bringing people back to life, man. I told you all that man was special. Bears should sign him.
That's who's from Rockford?
I'm not telling
Is
you.
that that's VanVleet, right?
Fred VanVleet? Who do you think?
I feel like you just knew something. I doubt it's Nico Mirotic, who has a Chicago
He has a
connection.
Chicago tie.
So, and I know it's not old school Milwaukee Buck, Jabari Parker. I don't know.
Well, he's not on the Bucks anymore.
I know. So I'm just trying to think Chicago
You're
ties.
reaching for impossible reaches.
You're chasing clouds, man. You're chasing clouds.
Cloud chasing.
Brooke Lopez.
Brooke Lopez, Fred VanVleet. Wilson is right. It is Rockford, Illinois native Fred VanVleet.
Good work.
So that concludes our first version of Who
That
Tweeted
was. This is my favorite segment so far. I do wish we had the smoothie tweet though.
Well, I wouldn't put that out there because I already know you know.
The best
who
tweet of
tweeted
all
it.
time.
Yeah, but there are.
You know that tweet?
No, what's that
I just
tweet?
for the first time taste smoothie. America is so great. Yeah,
God
God bless
America.
America.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Giannis
Giannis.
Antetokounmpo.
Smoothie is delicious.
Yes. So
I could go for one right now.
Wilson wins that round by winning 1 point.
Yes.
So
It's a good time. That's a big job.
he's up 1-0.
All right.
It's huge.
Now for our halftime entertainment, we bring in Kevin Durant versus Chris Broussard, which is one of the. This is phenomenal stuff.
Do we have this audio?
Do we have the audio, Richard? We do.
tweet?
Yes, of the tweet.
Yeah, I'll play it
Can I listen along? Is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Wait, hang on. I want to put my headset on too here to listen along to Broussard shouting down Kevin Durant. Now, before we play it, let me add on one more thing
Get some
here.
context.
Chris Broussard said last Friday when the Warriors were up 2-0, I don't know what the hell's going on here. When the Warriors were up 2-0 in the Western Conference
Are
semis,
you
he was on
lost
his
in your
radio show,
headphones?
The Odd Couple. Yes, I'm lost in my headphones. The Odd Couple. If the Warriors winning without Durant was Durant's worst nightmare. And then on Monday, he said, if the Warriors win the title without KD, does that diminish his past 2 rings? KD did not like this. KD was very upset.
Dare I
KD has a
say,
lot of time.
In his feelings.
KD was in his feelings, and KD said that this dude doesn't even have my number. And that's when Chris Broussard got pissed off because KD's acting like this conversation never happened, that they were buddies, Broussard and KD, and here we go.
Let me start this off by saying I like and respect Kevin Durant and am not trying to continue a Twitter beef with him. However, he did challenge my credibility,
that's
and I must respond to
It was like,
in my
Is it over?
I have more than 60 direct messages from Kevin Durant on Twitter
Okay, no
and
problem.
Instagram since
Okay.
February of 2018.
That's okay.
These were conversations initiated by KD himself. We talked about a lot of the things I talked about on Undisputed, and some of these conversations lasted more than 5 hours. If you want to argue over the difference between a text and a DM in the year 2019, go right ahead. But to me, it's all the same thing. For those of you who want me to publish these DMs, it's not going to happen. Out of respect for KD,
okay.
those texts
Just
will
shout out
remain
around.
private. Finally, after all of this, I will continue to love, respect, and pray for Kevin Durant and objectively analyze him as a basketball player. See you on Undisputed tomorrow morning.
So there's our guy. No,
I will
let me
continue
ask
to
you-
pray for Kevin Durant.
That's my favorite.
part.
Yeah,
I will
was gonna say
continue
the
to
same
pray
thing.
for him like it's a threat. That's what that was.
All right. Well, first of all, right. So his whole praying thing gets a little bit uncomfortable often, but regardless of that, is a DM or an Instagram chat, is that the same as a text? Let's have that conversation.
I don't give a damn.
cares?
I don't give a damn if it's the same as a text message or whatever. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
who the hell is Kevin Durant saying that they haven't communicated? Like, you don't have my number.
He
Like,
doesn't have his number. On technicality
that's a
alone.
ridiculous comment.
I love the Everest. Richard made an oopsie.
Wait, what am I missing?
You're missing the stream. Richard, you're great.
Missing the stream?
The chat. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
I don't care. I don't care what the difference is. But, I mean, Kevin Durant's right. If Chris Broussard doesn't have his number, then he doesn't have his number. But Chris Broussard was deeply offended because his credibility was put on the line.
His credibility has been tanked for years.
Where's
but-
his credibility? But
I mean,
Here's the thing. He starts that video saying, "Now I don't want to keep a Twitter beef going with Kevin Durant."
But here
Dude,
we go
that's
again.
exactly what you're doing. If you didn't want to do it, you would have just ignored this and not put that video out there.
he literally wanted everybody to know that
he wanted all the smoke. That's what happened. And
he wanted everyone to know that, hey, I look at the way that I cover the NBA. I got Kevin Durant texting me.
yeah.
That's huge.
I mean, I hate, the thing that bothers me most about like these, talking head shows is like, the Stephen A's of the world, and they're saying like, I just got off the phone with so-and-so and I've got him and I got a voicemail by him. I've called him last night. Like, I don't care. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, guys
doesn't
like
matter.
Woj have those connections too,
They're
and
not
they
name
just
dropping constantly.
Yeah, they just do their thing.
Yeah, they just do it. They just drop the bombs.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that you've had 5-hour conversations about life and the
Yeah.
adversity.
We
that
don't
both
need
of
to
have
see
gone
you
through.
like lighting the fuse on the bomb. Just drop it.
What does this mean as far as Kevin Durant's mindset right now as he's out for games
He's
1
bored.
and 2?
He's bored as hell. That's what.
All he has to do right
sounds
now
like
is
he's angry
scroll.
as hell.
No, I think he's just bored.
Yeah, because I think if he was playing, he wouldn't have time to be responding to Chris Broussard because he wouldn't be on his phone as often. But now that he's hurt and he's probably scrolling through his phone, playing whatever games he plays on there, using all of his burner accounts, he just was like, you know what, I've got time today.
If you go
Literally.
and just to go back in the history of Kevin Durant, when he was a tall, thin, gangly kid, he was hoping that he would start to like shrink. He didn't like to stand out, and he thought he was awkward, and that's I suppose normal for a kid. But it just sort of when you like boil that into who he is today, this is still a guy, despite his ridiculous amount of success, NBA Finals MVP, and all of it. He's still growing into being comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah, I mean,
And so are we all, by the way, but I'm just like want to name it for him. You would think that somebody with this much success, it would be a little bit easier.
I mean, that's the demons of social media. No one, clearly, even some of the best.
The way you picked up that coffee cup was stressful.
It's very dangerous. It was I agree.
Even, some of the best athletes in the world still get clearly bothered by things that are posted on social media. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how many championships you have, like, they still, watch your show, which I guess is a huge bonus for Chris Broussard and Fox Sports 1, but also take time out of their day to respond to you. It's
first
a lot
of all,
effort.
let's go back to the original comment, which KD rightfully called out. His worst nightmare? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
There's no...
What an over-exaggeration.
Like, what? I know they, like, on those shows, they encourage them to have hot takes and say ridiculous things to get eyeballs, but worst nightmare? Are we serious?
Yeah, no, it's a terrible comment.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I think KD, like, that's not really to me a ridiculous thing for him to address and say, come on,
if he's
are
gonna
you
address
kidding me?
it though, why not just address it with like, "I'll be all right, bro. Thank you though."
Yeah, I mean,
Sure, I'm not going to dictate how a player uses their social media, I guess. And he's not being hateful. He's not being
I'm not trying to-
aggressive. Well, maybe a little aggressive, but he could have done worse.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if I'm Kevin, I think the standard advice to Kevin Durant for a long time is water off a duck's back, dude. Don't let the haters get to you. But human tendency, we care what people think. Even if you're Kevin Durant, this dude cares what people think. I always kind of look at it like, because look at the sports world. You have owners who are super, super sensitive about what's said about their team, that they try to control the media and get media people in trouble, lose jobs because they don't like the way their team is
Mark
covered.
Cuban.
That goes on all over the place. I mean, it's not limited to Mark Cuban. That
I
is
know,
something
it's just
that's
my
right. But it's all over.
example.
But you have professional athletes who are making millions of dollars, who got trophies in their closet, and I'm sure their personal life is loaded with the most beautiful women or whatever. They got everything, but yet they're still sensitive about what's being said on Twitter. You've got media people who are at the highest level, Skip Bayless or whoever you want to put. I'm not naming him specifically, but just like that level. And they're super sensitive about what's being said about them.
Yeah.
So you got all the money, you got all the accolades, all the notoriety, all of it, and yet people are just still sensitive.
Money and fame doesn't solve everything, I guess.
no, I mean, I know it doesn't. It's not gonna cure any sort of self-doubt that you have in yourself or any insecurities. That's not what it's going to do. So, I mean, Kevin Durant has a history of this type of behavior, so of course he's going to respond. The funny thing, I think, is when people get on camera and talk about this, like how we are on camera talking about XYZ player. Now, no one's ever going to respond to us. I don't imagine if they do, that's only a win for us and a loss for whoever it is coming at us, because we're not as big as Chris Broussard, but
We're huge. What do you mean?
I'm enormous.
But Chris
At the Carman on
But
Twitter.
I think a lot of the times these people get on camera and just say things and don't expect the players to respond, and then when they do, they fly off the handle and are like, "Well, let me pull out the receipts, and you and I have DM'd for 5 hours on end." Like, relax.
Yeah.
Like, calm down.
That's why, like Chris D'Elia, one of my favorite comedians, he does this thing where he just like, he will pull out like an average Joe tweeting hated him.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be like, oh, you thought it wasn't going to happen,
Yeah,
dude?
you thought I wasn't going to respond? Oh, okay.
You tweeted this at me publicly, so guess what I get to do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fantastic, and I wish that that would happen more.
Who cares about what people think of them more? Kevin Durant or James Dolan?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a perfect example. James Dolan has the mental toughness of a 2-year-old.
James Dolan, yeah.
I mean,
I would say it's James Dolan because he's like,
I mean, he tried to get
banning
someone.
people from
he tried to get someone
MSG.
kicked out of a music festival that he was just simply playing at because they brought a sign saying "Sell the team."
Yeah.
like
I mean,
he's
epitome of
expanding his
sensitive.
trying to kick people out past his domain of MSG. Doing it in MSG is still ridiculous, but expanding that to places you don't even own. Who do you think you are?
he thinks he's James Dolan, owner of the New York Knicks, and thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants.
You can't.
and what I would say to the James Dolans and everybody else in the world, Kevin Durant included, dude, all these teams, they've got mental skills coaches, they've got all sorts of support out there. If you're having all this rigmarole going on in your head and you're trying to get this guy banned who's bringing a sign, and you got Charles Oakley getting himself arrested or whatever's going on, you're getting season ticket holders banned because they said something to you. Why don't you go out and get yourself some support?
Go to
You need
therapy.
A little bit of support out there, man. Get some coaching, get some therapy, get some support. Whatever it is, whatever's eating at you, it shouldn't. I mean, when you do a little bit of a reality test, it shouldn't matter to this level.
How long until James Dolan tries to ban a player? Like, is he going to ban Kristaps? That was in Game of Zones this week or last week or something like that.
Oh yeah, it was last week. I mean,
I'm here, by the way, to offer my services. I'm more than happy to coach James Dolan or Kevin Durant if they want. I'll do my very best to help you out. Right here, Carmen.
Never offered this to me.
Oh, you want to come on over? Let's have a sit down. Give me your innermost thoughts.
James Dolan.
Let's have coffee.
Didn't James Dolan basically ban Charles Oakley like last season or 2
He
seasons
did.
ago?
Yeah.
Like, so that's already happened. And a player.
Well,
that's
what
a
if he
beloved
like? I'm
New
saying,
York
what if he
Knicks
tried to ban a
basketball
current player?
I mean, technically, It has happened in New York Knicks history. They did it with Stephon Marbury. He was banned from the facility for not getting along with anyone.
For not being anyone's friend.
Yeah. So that has happened before with
Which
James
Stephon
Dolan.
Marbury tearing it up overseas.
Yeah, so good for him.
Underway in the
Starberry.
second half, the Raptors hit a three to tie it up at 49. Kyle Lowry with the bucket. So here we go, third quarter. This is going to be awesome.
I know we haven't talked about it as much. I mean, we talked about Giannis kind of forcing his way to the hole, but it appears that the Raptors have definitely 100% figured out how to game plan for him.
Bucks stay with the same starting lineup,
Yeah,
by
and
the way.
it's really nothing complicated. It seems like they're just stuffing a lot of people in the key. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless I'm missing something completely, it's nothing crazy.
Yeah, no.
Which same thing with Ben Simmons last year. Like, that was nothing crazy. They just sagged off him dramatically.
Which, if looking ahead to the finals, and we say that Milwaukee poses a better nice block by Giannis, poses a better challenge for Golden State. But what if Golden State just loads the paint with dudes? Doesn't matter how tall they are. He can't muscle his way through three guys standing in the paint.
Well, what if you just lock Draymond in there?
Yeah,
I'm sure Draymond can hold his own.
Play up to other people's size. So.
There it is again.
That was a nice pass by Giannis.
That was a good look.
Missed a three, and then we're going to get a ball to the Raptors as Giannis tips it out of bounds. Kyrie was guarding Giannis on that possession, and Giannis beat him to the bucket. I thought he should have gone up.
Did you say Kyrie?
I'm sorry. Kawhi. Kyrie.
I knew what you meant.
I actually didn't. I wasn't sure who you were.
Kawhi was guarding Giannis on that last possession.
I mean, Kawhi is playing with 3 fouls, so I think he's kind of...
Kawhi backing, spinning, moving around, ridiculous reverse
great
layup,
move.
missed it, got his own rebound. We're going to get a foul on the Bucks. That was a hell of a play, everything but the hoop. 51-49 Milwaukee. Let's just look at some quick stats here. Marcus Gasol is 0 for 4, has not scored in the game. That stands out when you look at the Raptors. Danny Green is 0 for 3, also has not scored. So 2 of the 5 guys in the starting lineup do not have a bucket for the Raptors. Here's Kawhi in the lane, kick it out. Lowry, he gets cut off, back it out.
Uh-oh.
Now corner
Nice.
Siakam for 3, missed it.
Why
Rebound
was
to the Bucks.
Middleton even slacking off of Siakam in the first place?
Yeah, that
That's
was a
stupid.
good look by
There it
Lowry to
is.
Siakam. The Lowry of playoff pass would probably have taken that shot on his own rather than
Ooh, all right,
looking for
Brooke
the teammate.
Lopez.
Brooke Lopez shook free for a baseline dunk as the Raptors were scrambled defensively.
That play was kickstarted by Giannis kicking it out to the three-point line, by the way. So he's definitely learning on the fly. That's great.
Kawhi Leonard looks healthy. That was a strong
Yeah.
drive into the lane, and he went up strong and finished with the right hand.
Uh-oh. Eric Bledsoe on guarded by Siakam.
Gucci Mane headed back to his seat.
Bledsoe for 3, and
Nothing
it's
but
in this.
net.
The biggest difference in this game for Milwaukee is Eric Bledsoe. He's got 14 now.
And he's playing, he looks in the zone. He is locked in.
That was a big 3 right there.
50%.
16 for Bledsoe, my bad. 5 for 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from the three-point line.
Damn.
Jumper, Kawhi, nope.
That jumper looked really off, though.
That was flat. No,
Yeah.
that last drive looked like it took something out of him. Here's Brogdon to the hole. Layup is in. Milwaukee up by 7. Nice response here by the Bucks.
Nice response by Eric Bledsoe, honestly. 20 minutes, 14 points for Malcolm Brogdon. That's nice to see.
Oof. Marcus Gasol had an open 3, threw it to a covered Kyle Lowry. That's not exactly the winning basketball.
Lowry? Yeah, that looked tough.
Okay. This is how you wanted to start the third quarter if you were the Bucks. And now Giannis barreling his way.
Jesus.
And the layup is
That
in.
seemed like
It's
a travel.
fascinating that they don't, 1, call travel, 2, call offensive, like a charge on that. Because from here, it looked like Kyle Lowry had
Yeah.
position. But maybe he was inside the circle. I don't know. I need a replay of that. Yeah, he just kind of barreled his way through them. Wow.
He is hard to ref.
Yeah, and I think that's
So many moving parts, and he's
People
all
are
over
unaware.
the place. And did he walk? Did he not walk?
Are you paying attention to his feet? Are you paying attention to him charging into someone? It's a lot of moving parts. Well, hey, while we have a timeout break, let's do a giveaway.
Okay.
Ooh.
For those who are watching, you are lucky because we are giving away a Step Back mug. It's a lovely mug that we have talked up several times on these live streams. Holds a lot of beverages.
Deep mug. We
Deep
do
mug.
not know how much exactly. We should measure that mugs. one
Yeah,
of
we
these
really
days.
should for future reference.
See how many ounces we got in there.
do you have
I'm guessing at least 17.
Sure. No purchase necessary, U.S. residents only. You have to be 18 years or older to win this mug. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask a trivia question. You are going to email your answer to nbalive@fansided.com. The first person to email us with the correct answer, we will contact you for shipping address and yeah. So do not put your answer in the chat. Email us at nbalive@fansided.com. You see it on the screen right there. So the trivia question is, who is the Toronto Raptors global ambassador? We've said his name about 50 times on the live stream tonight. You guys should know it because he's pretty well known. So put your answer in an email, subject,
Not in the chat.
NBA Fansided live stream. Email it to nbalive@fansided.com. Send us that email. Do not put your answer in the chat. That is not how you win the game. Question again is, who is the Toronto Raptors global ambassador? Ooh. Good luck.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
If you could have a global ambassador for your favorite team, who would you want it to be? So who would be the Chicago Bulls global ambassador if you had a choice?
The Chicago Bulls global ambassador.
Like, it has to be a Chicago native because Toronto's is a Toronto native.
Uh-huh.
Who would be the global ambassador for the Chicago Bulls?
Somebody from Chicago who was a Bull that could represent the Bulls nationally.
Doesn't have to
Doesn't
be a Bull.
be a player.
Oh, okay. I
Just
see.
someone who is from Chicago.
Like Drake, the equivalent. Like what would be the equivalent
and
of
that's
Drake?
the answer to the question.
Right.
Oops.
What question?
Which is why I said global ambassador.
No.
Well, Carm didn't see like he was getting it.
No. I was a little slow. But I actually kind of want it to be a former player who's still a diehard of the team.
Okay.
But maybe that doesn't make sense.
The new centrist said Michael Jordan, question mark?
Yeah, no, you can't do that. He's a Bobcat.
Bobcat for life. And he's from North Carolina, so that makes sense.
So who would I? Just a diehard Chicago guy.
Yes, thinking fingers.
Who was a big basketball fan.
You don't know any people.
I'd go Chance the Rapper.
That's a great one.
Wow, what a pull. I like it. Chance the Rapper, global ambassador, Chicago Bulls.
Good job on that one.
I like it.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I had to work for it, but I got there.
You got there.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
One night I bumped into Chance the Rapper's brother
I've
at
heard this
Lou
story
Malnati's.
3 times now.
Well, it's a story worth telling at least 5 times. So you're going to hear it once more after this.
Tell it again. You can tell it right now.
Tamberlin Richardson said
Well, I just
Queen
did tell
Latifah. I don't know if she's from Chicago. I think she's from New Jersey, but she could be the former New Jersey Nets global ambassador.
idea
I
where-
want Post Malone to be the Dallas Mavericks global ambassador.
He's
That's
from
all
Dallas?
I need. Yes, he is.
No, he's from Syracuse.
Post Malone is from Texas. He is a Dallas Cowboys fan.
No, I'm challenging
He
you on
is-
this.
he
He's
has
from
sat-
Syracuse.
He has sat courtside at Dallas Mavericks game with one
Nope,
Mark
I
Cuban.
promise you he's from...
Okay. He's from...
He was born in Syracuse. I
and
was
he-
half right.
uh-huh,
I was
and he's-
half
and
right.
And he grew up where?
Grapevine.
Yeah, Texas?
Maybe.
Texas. Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly.
I
Why
was,
do you keep coming for me tonight? What is wrong?
I was half right.
Just for the record, on the court, Giannis was double teamed, fouled, and the Bucks will inbound here as things are going Milwaukee's way. I love when you two fight, by the way. And I feel like I'm in the middle here to keep the peace going on here.
If you weren't here,
yeah, right.
The things that would be said on this stage.
Actually, that might be good for ratings. So maybe I should walk off the set. See how you guys.
Wilson and I would just be no filter, honestly, probably.
That's okay. No filter, good.
Yeah, definitely foul on. Gave him the armbar. That's
Free throws for Giannis, who's 2 for 5 at the line. Can he?
Let's see. Look at his form. Perfect form.
Missed it.
That was a good form, though.
2 for 6. Oy. Turning into Baby Shaq here.
Baby Shaq doo doo. Baby Shaq doo doo doo.
how has no one made that a video yet?
I don't know. We might.
With the Baby Shack filter too?
Yeah. Oh, Richard, write that down. We're doing that next week. Okay. That's gonna be our promo for next week.
Fred VanVleet and company looking for a little bit of a rally here in the third quarter. Do they have it in them?
Fred VanVleet's team, y'all. It's not Kawhi's team because he's not on the floor right now.
Fred VanVleet in the game early, by the way, in the second quarter. Lowry around the back to VanVleet. 3-ball VanVleet.
Damn, he got crushed by Bledsoe. They're just not going to call a foul. He didn't give him landing room.
Yeah, he completely went into his landing space.
Oh, Giannis for the dunk at inside position on Kawhi.
And he's got blood spewing down his face. Someone want to check on that for the future MVP? Also, we have a winner. Check your email because you might have won, and we might shout you out. Check your email, folks.
Kyle Lowry fouled. 2 free throws coming for Lowry.
So we've talked a lot about Giannis and this driving thing not working too well. Yes. I wonder if placing him, and they've done this a little bit this series, if placing him in the dunker spot near one of the blocks for some possessions might work.
Yeah, I mean,
have him there for lobs. He just caught a pass while he was in the dunker spot, which made me think of it. He does need to clean up that blood.
Yeah,
he's got a little cut on his face, little blood trickling down on the, I think that was the right side of his face. Let's see where it happened. I think it might have been Marcus Gasol scratching him.
No, it's the claw.
It was Kawhi with a little action on the old face.
Oh, so that's been bleeding for a while because that.
Someone get him. He's not.
Yeah, don't rub it on your jersey.
Yeah, that's unsanitary.
Now he needs a new jersey.
It is interesting that no one's noticed this.
I'm sure they have.
Well, I
really?
mean, I don't think they have, and I don't think Giannis is going to say anything to the team to get them to stop.
Well, Mike Budenholzer's too worried about what Drake's doing, so,
Oof.
I mean, the Bucks are...
Okay, is Gucci Mane really a Bucks fan? I'm convinced.
I mean, Gucci Mane is...
Giannis is trying to take Surge one-on-one, and it didn't work. Why? Because his ball handling skills aren't that great.
Gucci Mane is trying to be Drake, and he's freaking annoying.
Oh, I love it.
You do?
I love it.
How can you say Drake is annoying, but then when another rapper does it, you're like, this is annoying?
Because he's standing up during the play. You're in the front row. People are behind you.
Are you? Drake was doing the same exact thing.
No, he sits, and then like when there's a timeout.
No.
And people who sit in the front row do the exact same thing. And quite frankly, if I could afford front row tickets, I don't give a damn if you can see behind me.
Yeah. You are behind me for a reason.
Yeah, you couldn't afford courtside. That's your fault.
Hold on. It's a 10-point game in the middle of the third quarter, and it's a random play. Drake doesn't stand up at that point.
Yes, he does.
He does. It's just he's on the other side of the court because he's sitting on the same side as the bench, so it doesn't look as apparent. He's also not wearing a bright orange Hunter's sweater, so it doesn't look as obvious. But he's definitely... Ooh, that was cold. He does it.
Fun fact.
Which is why people find
Gucci Mane has an autobiography, and it's fantastic.
Okay. Gucci Mane autobiography plug.
I'm going to...
I want a commission for
plugging that?
I'm adjourning to Twitter to see what they're saying about Gucci Mane.
I'm sure they love him because everyone loves Gucci Mane. He was up in Toronto with Drake, sitting in his courtside seats wearing a Giannis jersey.
Gucci Mane and Aaron Rodgers are all over the refs.
Aaron Rodgers needs to
relax,
That's going to help. Though. Now, if Aaron Rodgers is standing, I'd be like, sit down. You're Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he's too tall. Gucci Mane's not that tall,
well,
you know?
Find out how tall Gucci Mane is, I suppose. I'm not aware of his height.
Oh, he is taller than I thought. He is 6'2", and Aaron Rodgers is
not so short after all.
6'2".
There we go.
I mean, I appreciate that he's given effort. I'll say that, but it just seems a little over the...
I think it's completely ridiculous that you can be all for what Drake does and then say it's ridiculous what Gucci Mane does.
Gucci Mane does not have the same... Drake is in his own little, like, courtside skybox. He's in that little nook.
Mm-hmm. Which is why it's not obvious, but he still does it.
This dude is sitting there. He's got people all in front of him. I guarantee you the people next to him are annoyed.
Of course
Guaranteed.
Who cares? I paid for my seats just as you did.
No, that's a bad fan. You don't get, just because you paid for your seat doesn't mean you get to ruin the game for other people.
Mark, this happens with regular people who sit at courtside seats. Do you not remember the guy who touched Russell Westbrook? Like, it happens
that guy
all
needs
the
to
time.
be kicked out too.
I don't, no. Unless you are touching the players, or and it's not like the play is literally happening in front of him. He's not conflicting with the play happening at hand. If you can afford courtside, I'm standing.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. If a play is happening like that, where I'm like, yeah, let's get him, like one-on-one Giannis trying to go to the rim. Yeah, he's not standing the entire game. He's standing for.
You can't tell fans to just not be fans.
We are called fan-sided. How dare you not stand up for fans?
Okay. I am standing up for fans. I'm standing up for the fans who are all, there's one of you, there's 18,000 everybody else. I'm for the good of all the fans, not just for the one fan. That's why I am fan-sided, and you guys should work for one fan. I work for fan-sided. You work for one fan.
Well, speaking of
Gucci Mane is about one fan. I'm about fan-sided.
Speaking of fans, we do have a winner for our giveaway. Our winner is
Ding, ding, ding.
Matt Carolee is the winner of our Step Back mug. Congratulations to you, Matt. You will be shipped a lovely mug. It'll hold all the beverages of your desire. And, yeah, thanks for playing.
It could even hold pencils.
Yeah, it could be a nice little decoration.
I want to know what people are saying in the chat about one fan versus fan-sided.
No one's saying anything yet.
Come on! How do you not have a reaction to that?
They're still talking about Drake and asking, I wonder if Drake is wearing Bucks shorts like he did with the 76ers.
You know who we need at one of these games?
Psychology.
Courtside, we need Lil B.
Tough shot taken by Chris Middleton. Missed it. We're going to get a jump ball. Norman Powell could not control the basketball, so it's going to be Powell, I think, and George Hill jumping it up here. And Powell's, he hurt his head.
Yeah, he looks, ouch. Ouch. Uh-oh,
Didn't
he's
look
down
that
for
bad.
a while.
Get up.
Did he hit his head on the floor?
Yeah, he's fine.
What happened? How do you know?
You can look where, what are we talking about?
I don't know. I didn't see it. Hold on.
He didn't even get nothing. That was,
Oh,
yeah.
he got a knee to the back of the head. Nothing.
You jerk.
Says the man who's not taking a charge in a middle school basketball game.
He had a little nothing. Get up. You're fine. Let's go.
Listen, nothing.
Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5,
You're
Powell.
ruthless.
He probably has vertigo now. How dare you?
Oh, no, he doesn't. He's fine.
You don't know.
He's good.
Just saying.
Norman Powell's going to get up there. He's going to win a jump ball. And then the Raptors are going to get a bucket, and this game's going to get just a little bit tighter. For the record, Kawhi Leonard has 15 points. He's 6 of 14 from the field. He's got 5 assists. Giannis, 7 of 14. Feels like he's missed way more than 7 shots. Has 18 points.
Well, how many turnovers does he have?
He has how many turnovers? It says he has no turnovers.
That's impossible.
That's what it says.
That's
who's at the scorer's table.
Who's fixing the score box, the box score? Wow, score box.
Eric Bledsoe's got 16 points.
Bledsoe's
Chris
5.
Middleton with just 2.
And he's 0 for 4 from the field. Couple of points at the foul line. Bucks are getting nothing from their bench, as per usual. Nico's 0 of 4. Connaughton, Brown.
Wow, look at
Hill's the only guy that scored off the bench, 2 for 3 with 5 points.
Look at the crowd outside of Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee.
Trying to compete with We the North.
Yeah. Wonder if how cold it is there in Milwaukee right now.
Oh, it's a beautiful night. Kawhi on the drive. Kawhi for Van Fleet. Van Fleet for 3. Yes. Big shot, Fred Van Fleet. Come on now.
Van Fleet's having a pretty big game.
He was staring down Gucci Mane. Gucci's pointing at him.
I don't know why I'm rooting for the Raptors. I'd love to see the finals in Milwaukee.
Because Gucci's annoying you, that's why.
because you hate Gucci.
Is that what's going on?
I added you and Gucci in a tweet, so I hope he comes at you.
You guys understand me better than I understand me. Van Fleet again for 3. Van Fleet again.
Van Fleet.
Van
having a huge
Fleet. I think I just want to see some entertainment
Rockford,
there.
Illinois native Fred Van Vliet.
One of the worst towns in the entire United States of America.
Matt Verderam lives in Rockford, Illinois. Our fellow coworker, by the way.
Matt Verderam is a great man, but he lives in a pathetic place.
Wow.
I thought Gary was
God.
I thought Gary was the problematic town name.
I know nothing about Illinois, so I can't speak.
Gary's awful too.
Norman
Powell for 3. Rimming over the backboard. No, they ruled that it stays in bounds. Bucks the rebound. Doesn't really matter. Bledsoe running. Middleton fakes a 3. Middleton on the drive. Middleton short shot. Missed it.
Here come Toronto.
The Raptors quickly erasing the deficit. Ooh, Kawhi had a
Give it to
layup.
Freddie. Kick it out to Freddie. Freddie's open. He's waiting for the shot.
Powell fouled on the drive. Free throws
He's
coming.
warm. He's ready.
Wasn't it 63-51? This is an 8-0 now going on 10-0 run. This is an odd game, man. Very odd game. Ben Landner, by the way, will be with us to start the fourth quarter. We'll get his take.
So the bench points are up to 22 from Toronto, still just 5 from Milwaukee.
Yikes. Fred VanVleet is in the zone, similar to how Eric Bledsoe.
Does he have a black eye?
No. He might, but
It looks like he does.
He had that last game, too, and I didn't know what it was.
Missed the free throw, Powell. Second one coming. I think I'm going to get a milkshake on my way home tonight.
Live the dream, man.
Don't you think?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Nice chocolate shake
Tomorrow's
on the way
Friday.
home. Vanilla ice cream. Chocolate syrup.
Tamerlan Richardson does make a good point. I do remember this. Fred VanVleet said that his son being born really gave him a jolt of energy to perform well in this series. So that has definitely helped him out.
I think kid number 2, right, for the Van Fleets?
I don't know. It's Freddie Jr. So.
Freddie Jr.
Yeah, Fred VanVleet Jr. 9-0 run for Toronto.
9-0 run indeed. Coming up on 5 minutes for the third quarter. Can the Bucks reestablish themselves. George Hill on the drive to the left baseline. Serge Ibaka has him. Tough shot by Hill.
Try to shake him.
Missed it. Rebound to Milwaukee keeps it. Good job by Brook Lopez tipping out. Here's Connaughton for three, and that's in.
Patty C.
First points of the game for
Yeah,
Pat
I was going to say,
Connaughton.
where the hell have you been?
Yeah, where the hell have you been?
You were supposed to show up, and it hasn't been happening.
You're like the guy that goes to Starbucks, orders his drink, gets a phone call, goes outside, forgets that his drink is there for 30 minutes, talks on the phone, then comes back in, and then it's cold. You know that guy.
Is that you?
That's super specific.
Seems like you had an experience.
I mean,
Fred VanVleet is just trying to win the game for Toronto. I don't know if it's in the best interest of Toronto.
that was a disgusting moment in basketball time there
I
for
don't,
Van Fleet.
I don't appreciate that play at all.
Brook
Lopez
for three.
Oh.
No, haven't seen you since game one, except
That was a hell of a game, though.
it was.
It'll carry him for the rest of the playoffs.
Little spurts here and there, but I haven't felt the consistent Lopez.
I hate that reach-in call, by the way. Terrible.
That was
Fred VanVleet, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Thank you for being
80%.
bored, Freddie Jr.
They called
It's pretty cool that he can take this game, though, and show his kid someday and be like, this is because of you.
Giannis is
Very
resting,
much
by the
so.
way, right now. Team 4:08 to go in the third quarter. Giannis on the bench. We'll see how much time he gets off the floor.
Well, so far, aside from last
He's
game.
played 26 minutes. So if he sits the rest of the quarter, that means he'd play 38 tonight, which is around what Mike Budenholzer wanted him to.
That's good.
So but he's got to sit a whole another 4 minutes. We'll see. Even if he only sits for 2, though, that's 40.
I mean, if Brogdon and Bledsoe can hold this lead, they're up 6 points right now. They won't need him for 4 minutes.
Siakam cut off. Here's Ibaka. Ooh, missed a layup on a strong drive, but it's spun out. Bucks the rebound. Starting to feel bigger here every moment. I'm getting nervous. Brogdon to the baseline. Brogdon on the drive gets cut off, and
Milwaukee? Yeah,
he
Milwaukee's
just
ball.
dropped that out of bounds. I think
He
they're
was
going to say
already
it's
out
off of Van Fleet.
Yeah, that's an interesting call. Kawhi and Giannis on the floor, so this game is a lot less interesting when neither of them are out there. Let me tell you.
Well, it's good. I mean, that's what you would do, right? If the Bucks are going to rest Giannis, the Raptors should take advantage and get Kawhi off the floor. Ilyasova, nope. Rebound to Ibaka.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, we'll see which bench can provide a boost for their star.
And if you're
Last
the
game it was
Raptors,
Toronto.
tonight, Toronto, your bench has been doing really well, so
Yeah.
I would ride with that.
Whereas Milwaukee, you might need Giannis in the game right now
Yeah.
because Eric Bledsoe started off hot, but hasn't really done much of late.
Another one.
Wow.
He loaded that one up.
Fred VanVleet.
5 for 6 from 3. A little smile on his face
Gucci
right
Mane
there.
also noticeably is sitting down, by the way. I think Fred VanVleet and him have a little smack talk going back and forth. That probably sat his ass down in the seat.
Here's Brogdon to the hole. Layup is in. Nice strong drive by Malcolm Brogdon, rookie of the year, second round pick.
Beautiful.
Restricted free agent, going to be a Chicago Bull.
Going to be a Dallas Maverick.
We shall see.
Yep.
Which there was big news on that with Giannis today making All NBA.
Yep.
Giannis about to get paid.
Yeah.
$247 million. Ooh. Surge with a dunk off a nice feed from Lowry. 3-point game. Bucks come right back, looking for a 3. Brogdon thinking about it. Instead, it's going to be George Hill?
I mean.
Yep, George Hill
Whoa.
for 3. Bang.
Whoa.
Wow. 71-65.
That rest time for you. Oh, here comes Giannis.
Yep, there we go. Giannis at the scorer's table.
It's almost a $50 million man.
Yeah.
Here's Siakam on the drive, short shot, missed it. Foul, free throws coming. Giannis coming back in with 1:58 to go.
I mean, Giannis is gonna have the biggest contract in NBA history.
Mm-hmm. And
what are our thoughts on that?
The big question is, if you're the Bucks and you have that much money tied up in one thing, one player, how do you build around that? And my issue, I have a lot of issues with the way these bonuses are decided with the media and whatever. That's not really what we're discussing right now. But my issue is these were implemented to help these small market teams keep their stars. But then you're constricting so much money up into one player that it doesn't help them actually build a contender.
Yeah,
so
there's
yes,
pros and
it helps
cons.
them keep stars, and stars are marketable.
But that's it.
But it does not help them win championships. So they need to figure out a better way to do that. Earlier we were tossing around ideas, and we were saying that bonus money, don't count it toward the cap.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's a pretty good solution.
I hate it too, because like if you're in Milwaukee, there's just no way. And these owners are, they're not millionaires, they're billionaires. So I guess it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day if they take a loss. But billionaires do like to at least run profitable companies. And for the Bucks to pay Giannis that much money and put a team around him that can win, there's no way they can make dough. So then they have to make really tough decisions. Kawhi for 3 is in 1 point game.
Here we go.
So I hate it.
Yeah.
And I don't want, and I don't begrudge Giannis making the money. He puts butts in the seats. He's worth more than $50 million, I'm sure, to that franchise right now.
Yeah, and it's also going to be interesting because they won't offer him that contract will kick in until after next year, because that's when he'll be a free agent. But they also are going to have to deal with paying Chris Middleton the max this summer, and so you're going to have a lot of your salary tied up in 2 dudes.
They want to pay Chris Middleton. They don't want to lose Malcolm Brogdon. They got a host of dudes they want to pay.
Yep.
And how do you do that? Backdoor feed for George Hill off an inbounds pass, gets a layup, 3-point game.
And it's even worse for some other teams, like the Jazz. Rudy Gobert is now eligible for this huge extension. And I think the Jazz are even worse off if they pay Rudy Gobert that. Like, no disrespect to Rudy Gobert, but he's just not a player that you can have. And
he's not the best player on that team.
Yeah, you can't win with him. Like Giannis, you can put the ball in his hands and expect him to do pretty much everything outside of maybe this series.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Rudy Gobert. He's a great player, and he should probably get that money, but it's going to make it hard for them to build.
Kawhi was just guarded by Giannis in a very pro-Giannis way, stopped him on a drive on the right baseline, and then Giannis with a beautiful feed to George Hill for a layup, 5-point game. Now a missed 3, but then Kawhi gets fouled by Giannis, going up, and Kawhi with a nice little butt tap to Giannis, knowing that Giannis wasn't trying to hurt him.
We're going to have a tight game going in the fourth quarter here.
We're going to have an awesome game going in the fourth quarter. Thank you for being with us, by the way. We really appreciate it. Checking out Game 5. We'll be here for, if there is a Game 7 on Monday night, we will be with you on Monday night. Game 6 is Saturday night. We're going to take that one to be with our families or do something.
Take personal time.
Personal time.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll be walking the streets doing my own live show on Twitter.
You said that last time, and you.
That's what I do. I do my sidewalk show. I do my Instagram at the Carm on Twitter, at Jasmyn Wimbish, at Josh Wilson FS. We just started following each other, me and you, Wilson. It's been my life.
It's been great.
It's really been awesome.
Must be life changing.
Yep, it has. Both free throws are in, 75-72. Bucks can go 2 for 1, but that would be nearly impossible. So I should take that comment back. Raptors are going to get one more shot at it here. Brogdon guarded by Powell. Brogdon looking for Giannis. Finally gets it to him.
Oh, Giannis. Kawhi. Giannis.
Good D by Kawhi. Air ball.
Oh, bad shot. That's something we'll have to work on.
Partially blocked. Van Fleet
of course.
for 3.
Oh, God, that almost went in.
Wow.
Woo, that was a solemn bell ring because that almost went in.
Yeah, he was about 5 feet behind the 3-point line. Missed it. So 3-point game to the fourth quarter here.
Ooh.
As we're going to bring in Ben Ladner.
Ben Ladner.
Ben Ladner is our friend. He writes for the step back to the end.
Nice bars.
Yeah.
Bars.
Let us know when Ben is ready to rock, Richard. He's ready.
Let's bring him on.
Let's bring him on. Ben Ladner, the step back, covering the NBA. Look at him.
Hey.
What's up, Ben?
How you guys doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well.
What's your take of 3 quarters of basketball here? Bucks by 3. What's surprising you? What are you liking? What are you not liking?
Yeah, well, it's been a pretty ugly game so far. I think judging by the score, that's fairly evident. Both sides I think are getting decent looks on offense. It's just that for the Raptors, they've had a really tough time. Just hitting open threes. Like I think the story of the first half for me at least, was that the Raptors just couldn't hit any wide open threes, and again they were getting the looks. It was just a matter of them going down. I think we saw the Bucks pull away a little bit there in the third quarter, and start to have some more offensive success. They were pretty slow there in the first half. But yeah, I mean, I think, like you said right before this break, I think it's going to be a really entertaining, stretch run here in the fourth quarter, and I'm looking forward to it.
Ben, we were just talking about Giannis and his upcoming Supermax that he's eligible for now after All-NBA. What are your thoughts on the Bucks having that much money tied up into one guy? How do they build around that when there's that much money on one player?
I think Ben might have lost the audio here. Ben, are you
here? Hang on, guys. I'm having some audio issues. Let me see if I can figure this out. I'm not hearing anything from y'all's end.
Oh, okay.
This is not good. But this is the beauty of live internet television as Ben Ladner tries to decipher the direction of the audio that is coming his way. I believe in Ben Ladner, because look at Ben Ladner. Does that not look like somebody who's the smartest guy on the planet?
He's got it figured out.
He went to Indiana. He goes to Indiana University. He's going to be running the world one day, but I'd actually like to stay with him right now until he figures it out. I'm hearing crickets. I feel like Ladner is out in a tent somewhere. I mean, listen to the audio that we're getting back from Ladner right now.
I love it.
It's soothing.
It's that sound.
You guys got me?
Yeah, we got you.
There it is.
All right, I got you.
Okay.
I was betting on you, Ben. I called you the smartest guy on the planet, that if we didn't need to do anything other than just stick with you.
We knew you had it.
As an IU brilliant man that you are. So congrats on figuring that out. That's a big-time move by you.
It's proud of myself.
Hey, Ben, Giannis tonight. He's 7 for 15. I feel like he's missed 15 shots and not the 8. I don't know. You think he's tight? What's your read on Giannis?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think maybe the biggest adjustment of the entire series to me was when the Raptors put Kawhi Leonard onto Giannis. I think that really changed the series from a defensive standpoint for the Raptors. He just doesn't seem to be able to do anything against Kawhi because Kawhi is such an uncommon blend of strength and size and length and instincts as well. So he just does such a good job on Giannis. And I think tonight it's been kind of a similar story. Kawhi has done a pretty good job, I think, shutting off the dribble penetration, holding his own in the post, things like that. And Giannis has kind of been able to feast on everybody else and kind of have his way with the rest of Toronto's defenders. Danny Green has really taken his lumps trying to guard Giannis tonight. That has not gone well for him. And, guys like Lowry, Fred VanVleet, when they get switched onto him in the post, Giannis is kind of doing what he wants. Mark Gasol, Serge Ibaka, those guys aren't fast enough to stay with him. So really those possessions where Kawhi isn't on Giannis have been the ones where he's really had the most success.
They're both starting the fourth quarter on the court, and Giannis had the ball in the post just now where they double-teamed Giannis with Kawhi and Ibaka, and he passed up on a shot. They ended up missing a three. Go ahead, Jasmine.
Wilson has his
ahead, Josh, my bad.
Right when we were cutting out, I asked Giannis's upcoming extension that he's now eligible for. Lots of money on the table. What are your thoughts there, and how the Bucks can approach building around when they have so much money wrapped up in one player?
Sorry, I didn't catch the tail end of that.
Just Giannis's big money that he's now eligible for, and if the Bucks are giving that much money to one guy, how do they build around that and approach that?
Ben, do you hear me better than you hear Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably because it's this mic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why don't you ask the question? Let's just do that.
He's asking about Giannis getting making All NBA and getting having $247 million coming to him, and how a team like the Milwaukee Bucks in that market to pay him, they want to pay Middleton, they probably want to pay Brogdon. Is this good for the league? What's your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you can keep a good team together, that's a good thing for the league. Giannis is certainly a great player and the cornerstone of that team, obviously. So, as far as the question of keeping stars in small markets, I think that is probably a good thing for the league, at least from my perspective as a fan.
But there's no way they can make money, though, right, Ben? I mean, if you're paying him 50 and you're paying Middleton 20 plus, and you're paying it's just eventually billionaires are going to have to make a decision on who we're going to keep, and this team is probably not going to be perhaps as strong even as it is this year.
Right, and I think that's the biggest question for them this offseason is everyone except for Giannis in their starting lineup, and I think you could even throw in Mirotic coming off the bench. All those guys are going to be free agents, and the Bucks may be in a situation where they're going to have to pick and choose which of those guys they want to bring back, because Brook Lopez has outperformed his contract this year. Malcolm Brogdon has outperformed his contract. I think even Chris Middleton this year has outperformed his contract. He's due for a large deal this coming summer. So the Bucks are going to have the advantage in some cases there because they have bird rights on Middleton, they have bird rights on Brogdon, they don't on Brook Lopez, but they can find ways to bring him back, maybe using exceptions and cap space and things like that. So, how much each guy's willing to take, how much the Bucks are willing to give out, what are those negotiations going to be like? I think that's the fundamental question for Milwaukee here, because they've got a guy like Giannis who's obviously going to be making as much money as the CBA will allow him to get. Mm-hmm. And then the question is, after you have that guy, how do you build the pieces around him without breaking the bank, and especially if the owner isn't willing to break the bank, which we don't really know that question for Milwaukee right now because they haven't had a team good enough to be willing to pay that luxury tax and those high prices in quite some time. So we just don't know how willing the team and the front office is going to be to spend big money this summer.
Giannis up here missing free throws.
Yeah, and speaking of Chris Middleton, tonight he's only got 4 points prior to a jumper he just made in the second half. But looking ahead to Game 6, we still got a tight game going on here, but obviously he's probably a key person that you need to get going for the next game.
Can you talk a little closer to the mic?
She's asking, Jasmyn wants to know if you think that the Bucks have to get Chris Middleton going because he's scuffling tonight. You got Game 6 looming here, and can they basically win it without Chris Middleton?
Yeah, Middleton, I think, has had an interesting series. He's done so much good work on the defensive end. Even though Kawhi's had his games, he's been able to get his at times. Mm-hmm. I think Middleton's done a really solid job on Kawhi this entire series. And so with him, I think when you have a matchup like that on defense, the offense is almost just a bonus. If you can, whatever you can get out of Middleton on the offensive end, you'll take, because he's expending so much energy on defense trying to keep up with Kawhi. That said, I do think you need him to be better than 0 for 3 or whatever he is tonight, and start making some shots, start creating some shots, and be a little bit more of a force on offense. But credit the Raptors for that as well. They've been putting some longer guys, some stronger guys on him, guys who can take away some of his shots. And, he's a guy who likes to get in kind of those comfort zones, those mid-range areas, spot up for 3, things like that. If you can take that away from him, he's not really a guy who's going to create a lot against a defense as good as the Raptors. So, he does need to find a way to get involved if the Bucks are going to, win this series soundly. But I do think they can win even without him playing, at an A+ level on offense.
He's Ben Ladner, basketball writer, superstar extraordinaire for the Step Back, Indiana man. And I don't know exactly what's going on there, Ben. It sounds like you have like a makeshift tent and there are crickets. What?
Yeah, I'm out here on the porch.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Little porch action.
Porches, the house is occupied.
Is this a fraternity house or are we at Mom and Dad's? What do we got?
I'm back at Mom and Dad's in Atlanta. So we've got brother who just had shoulder surgery, and all the TVs in the house are occupied. So I had to come out here, watch on the porch.
We can't get a little look at Mom and Dad right now.
They're inside. They're probably asleep by this point.
Okay, all right. Well, say hi to them for us. We appreciate them. Giving you some space there on the home front. Yeah. Don't do anything to make your parents unhappy while you're there, all right?
You got it.
All right, Ben. You're the man. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Ben.
At @BLadner_ on Twitter. Ben is going to run the world sooner than later. Big fan of Ben's, and he did a nice job battling through that.
If you can fix audio, you can run the world.
Run the world, yeah.
I mean,
I would agree.
3-ball for Kawhi.
That's why I'm convinced Richard one day will probably run the world, because he can fix so many things that I can't fix.
I'd be okay with that.
Richard is, whatever Richard wants to do, Richard's gonna do, and I'm completely
just give him all of it.
I'm completely terrified by Richard, and because I feel
what
like
a weird thing to say.
You could program my car to drive into a tree on my way home and get that done in the next minute. Couldn't you, Richard? I know you could.
I'm not listening to you.
Bucks a miss. Raptors a rebound. They're up 1 with the ball. Marc Gasol won't even look at the hoop. I had a couple reactions while Ben was on. I don't know if anybody noticed
the Pascal block.
Your reactions there.
He's got a wide open 3. He's passing it to a guy who's covered. Marc Gasol, you're on the court for a reason. Shoot the basketball.
Oh, step back 3 from Kawhi.
Money.
Oh boy.
Double fist pump. Just so contained
in himself.
That means he's staying. Okay, well.
Ooh, they're showing We the North, and they are going nuts in Toronto.
Wow.
And there's Drake going.
There's Drake. He's going to pass out. I swear. Someone get that man a water, please.
Is he performing there, too? That's a very clutch. If he's performing, that's a very clutch.
Every team should have a global ambassador that is a musician, I've decided. Free concerts outside in Jurassic Park or in...
Cross-branding promotions.
Cross-branding. You've got the jerseys. You've got the OVO practice facility. Look, man. You can say whatever the hell you want about Drake, but he is a mogul in every sense of the word.
Hey.
He's executive producing a new HBO show. He's got this whole thing going with the Raptors, his music side of stuff. Like, he's got shoes with Jordan. Like,
he's good for the league all day long.
I would agree.
Big time.
But apparently Gucci is just the worst.
Apparently he's
it's
trash.
It's got nothing to do with Gucci. It's got to do with a guy in the front row standing.
Feels like you're targeting Gucci.
No,
I think Mark's
targeting Gucci. I don't even know who Gucci is.
I think Mark's just mad because he knows that he couldn't afford the front row seat, so he'd be sitting behind Gucci and wouldn't be able to see.
I couldn't afford the seats behind Gucci.
Exactly. So I think you're just upset.
Listen. I have my own fan etiquette. When you go to a game, you are going to a game with other people. If you want to do exactly what you want, then you should sit at home and have your beer, have your peanuts, do whatever you do, sit in your boxers, sit in your briefs, live your dream at home. But if you're going to the basketball game or the baseball game, you have to be aware that there's this thing that's going on in front of you that people want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think baseball for sure, because it's different and there's little unwritten rules of baseball. I think that people go to basketball games to hang out more than to watch the actual game.
I would say that about baseball.
Baseball fans are weird. So
there are the baseball purists.
Yeah, baseball purists can go somewhere. But I don't know. I just don't think Gucci is an issue for the league.
I'm not saying he's an issue. I'm just saying when the play is going on. You want to get up after the play, after a foul.
I disagree. There should be. We've talked all year about the walls that need to be, the borders that need to be clear between players and fans, where there's these issues of racial slurs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But fans shouldn't feel like they can't stand up and cheer.
Yeah. Mark Stein just tweeted, "Methinks Golden State would prefer to have number 35 to face whoever wins this series."
Methinks.
And there's no space in methinks as well. I like it.
Methinks.
Methinks.
Yeah. What would be the point of that tweet? With all due respect to Mark Stein?
Saying that they would need Kevin Durant to face one Kawhi Leonard or one Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh.
That's the point of that tweet.
So that's what I said earlier.
Read the tweet one more time. Maybe I heard it wrong.
He said, Mark Stein, methinks Golden State would prefer to have number 35 to face whoever wins this series, ...
That's, okay, he's not really going, he's not saying that they need him. He's saying
they'd prefer to have him because...
Of course they'd rather have him.
Because who's guarding... I guess you could throw Clay at Kawhi. He could handle himself to some extent. But who are you throwing at Giannis? Kawhi can't stop Giannis. Maybe he could.
Draymond Green?
Yeah.
It causes. Listen, I think the Warriors will be fine, but if they have KD, it causes for the other team a whole, you can handle what they have with Steph, Clay, Draymond, and the other guy who steps up on any given night. But if you throw KD in there too, it's just too much for these teams. They don't have enough weapons to counter all of those players, I don't think. Yeah. It causes some mismatch nightmares and just things you don't want to deal with. If they don't have Kawhi, it's a much more even matchup, I think, for either of these teams. But
I'm super excited for the finals. I don't want to take any love.
Giannis is still bleeding, by the way.
Of what's coming. These two teams are going to be whoever advances is going to be exhausted. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of days off in the finals, so that maybe
I guess that kind of makes up for it.
As big of a factor, but right now, at this very moment,
did Jason Kidd spill some soda?
Nice callback.
It might have been our guy.
Stop it! I can't take it anymore.
No, it's stupid Aaron Rodgers. That's who it is.
I don't know how you can watch this series right now and not think that Golden State's going to smoke whoever they play.
And not think that they are going to?
I think the Warriors are going to roll.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant they pose an actual challenge. No.
I don't care if KD's there or not. Golden State's playing ridiculous basketball right now.
Oh,
Giannis' shots blocked in the lane.
Playing
good defense.
Tremendous basketball as of late.
Wow. Raptors the ball up by 4 with 7:35 to go.
Kawhi Leonard has 30 points, by the way.
Kawhi's playing just.
Anyone want to put a 40 piece on it? Anyone think he's going to get to 40?
I don't think so, but great game.
I think he's going to get to 40. Because it's a tight game.
He's on it right now, and now and I don't know what the Bucks are doing. They just let him walk down the lane and get
that
fouled.
Guy in the orange hat back there is also confused. He had his two hands up for a very long time. I think he gets 40.
Oh, no, what a block by Siakam!
Basically taking every possession just by the horns.
He has
doing everything himself.
Yeah.
Which does this bode well for the Raptors if he's having to do this much to will them to victory?
Part of the deal.
And the Raptors bench was playing good throughout the game, so
yeah,
he hasn't. He hasn't had to, turn it on quite as much. 31 points, by the way.
I've stuck by since probably April that he's staying in Toronto, but I don't know, these things where he's having to do everything on the floor.
He should love it, man. The ball's in his hands. He gets to be the best player and lead a team to the finals. I mean, how could you not have any more fun than what he's having right now?
I mean, who knows how much fun.
Why would you want to give that up and like?
Yeah,
watch
I mean,
LeBron do
I
it?
truthfully don't know what Kawhi thinks
Exactly.
about. having
And that's all
to-
I'm saying. I just don't think it's a foregone conclusion that he's staying.
Well, I mean, the report, by the way, from Brian Windhorst is that LeBron's reaching out to Kawhi, LeBron's reaching out to Jimmy Butler. These conversations
Well, has
are already
had
going-
contact with, not just reaching out to.
Yeah, has had contact with right, exactly.
Giannis,
Even worse.
So many people have done a three-point.
Look, I don't think Kawhi is going to be phased by anything LeBron has to say. Kawhi is going to make his decision on whatever he wants.
Oh, that almost went in.
No, but I mean, I do think it's interesting that LeBron's calling him. Hey, Kawhi.
Certainly, yes.
I think the timing is also interesting. I'm in the middle of the biggest series. Well, not the biggest because he won a championship, but like I'm in the middle of.
But for his time in
Finals.
Toronto, definitely
Yeah,
the biggest series so
in
far.
his time in Toronto. Like,
I mean,
what the hell are you calling me for?
I mean, I think that call goes something like this. Hey, man, just wanted to reach out to you and just let you know that you're playing phenomenal basketball. I'm loving watching you.
Yeah.
And by the way, go get it, win the whole damn thing. And no matter what happens, we want you here in L.A.
Yeah, and
Done.
you know what? You know what Kawhi says? Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Click.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, that was pretty. Nice ball fake there. And then he gives it to him. Swing it. Mark
Mark is not liking those three-point looks
Siakam,
tonight.
which is odd.
This is a
Give it to the man on fire.
Oh, almost
rim
got
out.
to bounce like Kawhi's.
Damn.
that was a big possession right there. The Raptors had a lot of good looks at it and did
Giannis
not
keeps
score.
doing the same damn thing, and it's getting on my damn nerves. Oh my God, pass the ball. Why are you forcing it, my guy?
Pascal forces a steal at the other end and then cleans it up on the
Jeez.
offensive end.
This is incredible. Giannis blocked again in the lane. We've been talking about it all night. And the Raptors running out. And Siakam getting a dunk.
10-0 run.
It's
for
a
the
10-0
Raptors.
run. They're up by 8. Mike Budenholzer hasn't called a timeout in a minute.
Like, you see 4 people swarming in on you, and he doesn't think, there's 4 people swarming in on me. There's got to be someone open on the wing. Which I get that he's young and he hasn't developed that part of his game, but he needs to develop that, like, now.
They threw the ball into Kawhi. He caught it with one hand.
with his giant-ass
He faked
claw.
a pass
That was
and
beautiful.
brought it back.
I want to see that on a New Balance commercial.
Dude's got some mitts. Here's Bledsoe to the hole. Fouled. Free throws coming. Wow.
What a turn of events. I mean, we tossed around the question of are either of these teams going to win on the road? And I think both of us said that it was, or all 3 of us said it was going to be Milwaukee, and here's Toronto up 89-81 with 6 minutes to go.
I did sort of write off Toronto at the beginning of the series. I said I thought they were going to put up a fight, but they were probably going to lose the series, and I definitely didn't expect them taking a road game. Still a lot of time left for Milwaukee to come back and put this one away. But Toronto has impressed me and shown me some things that I didn't really expect them to pull out in this series. I always thought they were a good team, but they're playing great.
And this has been impressive. And Kawhi, I didn't think it was possible, but he's elevating himself even further.
Yeah. I mean, Niko Mirotic has 0 points tonight.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done.
He's
for
only
you.
played 9 minutes, so
And-
he hasn't been out there very often.
And it does not help that Giannis has been doing the same thing over and over, and it's
Okay,
not
Mark,
working.
with the Dirk Nowitzki, that did not bode well for him, but, whatever.
We are really seeing tonight how much of a one-dimensional player. I
He
don't
should
know
have
if that's
passed
the
it
right way to describe
once
him,
more.
but Giannis
Okay,
really
Brooke.
just seems to have this one
That was
move.
extra loud.
Good
Yeah.
take by Brook Lopez through traffic. A lot of guys have been kicking that ball out, and Lopez just stuck with it, went all the way to the whole timeout. Nick Nurse,
I mean,
4-point game.
Giannis, he doesn't do a lot of post up, so he's not playing with his back to the basket. He's not, putting a spin move on dudes. He's coming down the lane. He's driving into you. He's muscling his way through you because you don't want he's got to get there.
I'd love to see him next year develop just some more like dribble handoff action, working off picks, and obviously that shot as well. But when you know exactly what's coming and he's just barreling down the lane and you know you can just clog up by the rim.
Or like they haven't run a single pick and roll with him. Nothing.
Exactly, yeah.
Like that has not happened.
And
at
I
all
don't
tonight.
expect them to, because Budenholzer is not going to let them go away from that system. But
Yeah,
next year
but-
they need to add some wrinkles like that.
I mean, these are some of the adjustments that you have to make game to game. It
100%.
didn't work
And I
last
think
game.
that's why Budenholzer really hasn't gone that far in the playoffs, is because in the playoffs you have to be willing to give up your system just a little bit.
Yeah, and he's known for not doing that.
Yeah.
He sticks to his guns for sure.
Nick Nurse greater than Mike Budenholzer. Hot takes, anybody? Nurse.
I think that is a hot take, but
Nurse. Nursing the Raptors.
I think
to
we're
life.
seeing that we are seeing that Mike Budenholzer is a great regular season coach and can even get you a little bit of the way in the playoffs.
Ooh, you're going hotter take.
But Nick Nurse is a great playoff coach.
Wow.
And he's had some missteps here and there, but in this series they've made some adjustments that have really worked.
A great playoff coach? I don't know.
It's early. This
Yeah,
is his first time as a head coach. But hey, if they come back and win the series, Nick Nurse is going to get a ton of credit. Kendrick Perkins, Big Kendrick on Twitter. Van Fleet is showing up. 3 exclamation points.
What's
Big
Magic?
time.
What's Magic Johnson's Twitter?
Exclamation point.
Probably eating more popcorn, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, Kawhi Jordan being his usual self. Kawhi Jordan.
Who said that?
Big Kendrick.
He said Kawhi Jordan.
Because
I mean-
I appreciate that, because what you were just saying, Josh, about, does he want to have all this? He's got to do everything. Well, that's kind of how it was for Mike down the stretch. He would do it all, and he loved it. LeBron loved these guys. If you're the best player in the game or one of the best players in the game, you want the ball in your hands.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to take a back seat to anybody if I was Kawhi playing this level of basketball.
No, I mean, he's a
Kawhi,
great
26 years old.
He's a great isolation player. He can take damn near anybody in the league one-on-one. So.
But listen, this guy used to be a great defender, right? He could score, but he wasn't like the guy.
Yeah, and in San Antonio, it was not his team.
And now it's like, oh my God, just give him the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, this is some big time stuff. What are you smiling at?
So, no
Magic?
No tweets tonight from Magic, but
No
after the last game, he said the Bucks' explosive offense has been missing the last 2 games. That's why the series is tied at 2-2.
And what are the responses?
Incredible analysis.
What are the responses, Urban?
We've got cutting edge. Wasn't sure anybody had the balls to say it. Let's see. How was the popcorn, though?
That's a good question. I actually
The winner of the next game will have a 3-2 series lead.
breaking news.
Magic, call me crazy, but I think I read somewhere that if Toronto scores more points at the end of the fourth quarter than Milwaukee does,
See, now I'm
Toronto has a 100% win rate.
Now I'm getting a little offended that everybody thinks they're smarter than Magic Johnson, who's a phenomenal businessman, was brilliant on the court.
Sure.
Had a lot of, has got a
I think
he's
ton
annoying
going
as
for
hell.
him.
he
as a
just
human
can't
being.
figure out how to put what he wants to say into 240 characters,
I mean-
so he just goes with simple.
Look, he was never a good commentator when he was on ESPN, like their NBA thing. He was terrible. Like
Yeah.
he was bad. Like Paul Pierce times 1,000 bad. Like so, it doesn't surprise.
Right.
Magic Johnson has always been corny to me because I never got to see Magic Johnson the player. So this is Magic Johnson to me. He's corny as hell.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and
Feel
that's what a
old and
lot of
bad.
people, and that's what a lot of people on Twitter, like the age of Twitter people, they're like Magic Johnson's just stupid, like, and that's why he's viewed that way because
I
they
would-
didn't get to see
I
him
would
wreak
guess,
havoc on the court.
Like people even younger than like in their 20s who literally know almost nothing
Mm-hmm.
about Magic Johnson probably think he's like just as corny as like LeVar Ball,
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
which is
Unfortunately.
ridiculous.
Unless
Like
you're a
knowing
Lakers
what
fan.
you know about Magic Johnson,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
People are tweeting that Giannis needs to develop a hook shot. We were talking about it earlier, moving away from Magic.
He needs to develop a post game in general.
Because Magic had the baby hook. Giannis, you put that in there. I don't just spin move in the post, little fadeaway, whatever it would be. Giannis in the post would be a problem.
I mean, the thing is, he's essentially a point forward for them, so he has the ball in his hands more than anybody else on the floor, and so he's not like, the traditional forward, got to run down the court, set up in the post, call for the ball, and do a move. He's barreling his ass down the court downhill, and so that's not part of his game.
Right, but it
They
could
need
be,
an
and it would
actual-
just give him more ways to play.
Oh, absolutely. And it's who are you? I mean, do you trust Malcolm Brogdon enough to handle the offense?
Sure, absolutely.
And that's what Mike Budenholzer, if they match whatever contract someone's going to throw at Malcolm Brogdon this offseason, they need to have someone to do that so Giannis can develop other areas of his game this offseason.
Kawhi in the lane off to Siakam. Double teams, passes deflected, out of bound. 9 to shoot here. 5:15 to go. Raptors by 4. Right now, it feels like Toronto's going to win this game. It's a 4-point game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Giannis is 19 points.
7 of 16 from the field. Inbounds pass comes into Kawhi. Kawhi on the baseline against Brogdon. Kawhi fadeaway shot. Kawhi missed it. Rebound
Whoa.
Gasol. Gasol. Wow,
Out
Gasol.
rebounds.
Just
Giannis.
Siakam misses a short shot. God, Mark Gasol has lost all confidence in Game 5 here. Back to Kawhi. Kawhi again. Kawhi to the hole. Out to Gasol. Shooting this
Now
three.
he shoots a 3.
And he hits
Ooh.
it.
He was
In
waiting
my
for
face.
It. He was waiting for it. He heard you.
I mean, that was
In
a
your
huge
face
shot.
and in Gucci's face.
And Gucci.
Brogdon.
That was beautiful.
Layup in. Nice job, Malcolm
Great
Brogdon.
move.
That was very Andrew Wiggins-like.
If you're watching this chat for the first
Still
time, we've been
haven't-
arguing Brogdon versus Wiggins for no real good reason.
No reason at all, other than they're both Rookie of the Year winners.
None of our arguments have any reason
they
whatsoever. The
don't.
Hall of Fame argument, too, is really strange.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Snickers bar. Go.
Snickers.
Reese's, for sure.
Snickers.
Peanut butter's amazing.
Reese's 1C.
Yes, as a man who doesn't like peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, peanuts and peanut butter are two very different things.
Yeah, it's a terrible take.
I think at the end of the
Ooh,
day,
Giannis for
oh,
3!
Giannis for 3.
He's doing something different now.
That's what he should be doing instead of driving to the hole with 4 people swamped all over you, especially if you're not going to pass the ball back out. That was a great shot.
2-point game, under 4 minutes. Giannis with 22. Gasol in the post gets it tipped away. Lowry picks it up.
He touched it. It's not
we're
backcourt.
fine. Lowry in the lane, short shot. No foul.
I was about to say, they're not
there's
going to
the
call a foul.
He should have
on
lobbed that up to
Interesting.
Siakam.
Interesting.
Whew, that was nearly an over and back, but it was deflected. Just Lowry was in the backcourt, so
Let's see. That is. You see how he holds the ball with his hand on top of it, like
It's
this.
the line
it's
drive
such a
three.
weird
Like
shot.
this. I don't. It's a very interesting
But
way to
if
hold
it goes
basketball.
in,
I wouldn't have called that.
it counts
foul.
the same.
Still 3 points.
It is still 3 points. You are not judged on your form.
No, you were not. Sean Marion was not. So it worked out for him.
First free throw by Kyle Lowry is in. 93-90.
Wow.
He released the ball and Brook Lopez cracked into him after he came down. By the letter of the law, that was a foul, but I personally wouldn't have called it.
I think it's a foul, just because you call a foul mainly based off of the player's reaction, and he was all on the floor.
Missed the second free throw. Bucks the
That could
basketball.
come back to haunt them.
1 possession game. Everything is on the line, baby. Ooh, Chris Middleton just traveled. They didn't
Yeah,
call
definitely.
that. Lost his pivot foot. I probably wouldn't have called that either. I like watching basketball players play basketball. Brogdon.
What an interesting play to run it through Malcolm Brogdon when Giannis just hit a huge 3. Why is
Malcolm's
why
been
is that
good, and he just had a huge. I thought he was bleeding for a second from his.
Oh. He is. It's just you go.
I mean,
You
the
go to your
layup he
guy.
just had reminded me. I mean, I know you joked around and said Andrew Wiggins but it reminded me of some of the things Kawhi's done tonight.
Yeah.
Raptors the basketball. 3 minutes to go. Van Fleet looking for Siakam, who throws up a ridiculous
That would have been
shot.
a hell of a shot if
Yeah.
he made that. Oh my God.
Should have gone strong though, and not whatever the
Looking
hell
to
he
the
just
corners.
did.
Brogdon. Oh, that looks short. Yep.
Brook
Brook.
Lopez for the tie, and he's got it.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Brook Lopez.
Are you mad at Gucci Mane standing now?
Gucci Mane loves it. So do the Bucks. So do the Buck fans. Raptors will not call time as they walk into the front court. Under 3 minutes to go. Siakam, who's going to have the you-know-what's to do it? I think it's going to be Kawhi.
It's going to be Freddie V.
Van Fleet,
Oh
3
my
goes
God.
down on a feed from Kawhi. 96-93. And then the Bucks are going to come down here and score somehow. It's Bledsoe. It's Giannis. It's Brogdon. It's Brogdon for Giannis.
That's what they should be doing
Alley-oop
more
dunk.
of. I like it. That's ball
So,
movement.
okay, now-
Alley-oop to Giannis down in the post. Who's going to stop that?
Well,
not a lot of people can stop that.
As we go under 2 minutes here, I mean, we got 2 tired teams out there. Who's going to will their way to the finish? Kawhi for 3. Nope.
Dang. Oh, Jesus.
Rebound.
And he
Kawhi
got his
on
own
the
rebound.
How did he
down.
get that rebound?
How did
Where
no
did
one
he
box
come
him
from?
out? That's basketball 101. Giannis is visibly very upset that they got the ball back. Whose man was that?
What is Serge Ibaka's contract situation? Because him and Kawhi seem very close. He was just giving him a hug on the sideline
Out
after.
of nowhere with 148 to go, you're thinking about Serge Ibaka's contract
I'm always
situation?
thinking about free agency.
That is a level of nerdness that I do not possess. Congratulations. You should be an NBA general manager. You just went Ibaka contract. What do you got? Did you find
12 points in the fourth quarter for Kawhi Leonard, by the way, as he knocks down a free throw, puts him at...
Why is it? It's pulling up technical fouls. Okay, here we go.
Kawhi's got
He is on the books
fourth.
for next year. I think that says something about Kawhi.
Oh, so you're reading into Kawhi and
Yeah.
Serge
'Cause
having
they're
a moment.
buds.
I don't know, man. I think Kawhi is on a loan and on.
I mean, I think he'll be fine without
I think you could
Serge,
put four
but
other
it's-
robots on the floor, and Kawhi wouldn't give a damn. So
alone and on his own. Here we go.
Okay, that was
98-95,
odd.
one possession game. Giannis on the drive. Giannis to the baseline. Giannis
it
to
out.
Bledsoe. Bledsoe knows he missed it. Rebound to the Raptors. Ooh. He did not
still a
shoot
lot
that
of
with
time. Still a
confidence.
lot of time. Oh, get up, Giannis. He slipped there. There's a wet spot. Someone needs to clean that up. Someone just got fired.
Kawhi in the front court. Kawhi for Lowry. Kawhi for Siakam. I'm peering at both screens here.
Keep Van Fleet in the corner. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh, he missed Van Fleet for a layup.
He's open again.
Oh, Giannis gets,
Wow.
rather Kawhi gets fouled on a strong drive to the hole. Free throws coming. Bucks are in trouble.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, well, Giannis he went down awkwardly. It looked like maybe Kawhi had put a shoulder into him.
I
but
think he
Giannis
lost
just
his
fell.
balance.
Yeah, I think he lost
mostly.
his balance. It's hard being that tall, I suppose.
And here's Kawhi on the drive. Gets hit on
Ew,
the arm
I'll
by
put his arm back.
Brogdon.
Gross. That's nasty.
So 2 free throws for Kawhi with 1:12 to go. It is nervous. Oh, Kawhi misses the first.
Interesting.
Line drive that hits the front right side of the rim. Wow. That was way off. His first miss of a free throw tonight. 7 for 8 now.
He probably already forgot about that.
Look at Jasmyn sitting up in her seat, just feeling the tension of the moment.
Well, it's a good game we've got here. 98-95, 1 minute to go. Pivotal game 5.
The NBA Finals being in Milwaukee, going by the boards in my face right now. Second free throw's
There
good.
it is.
99-95. All right, 112 left here. What do you do? Who do you go to?
You go to Giannis. You go to your moneymaker. Wait.
I might
Let's see
look
what
for,
they do.
look for a 3 for
Wait,
Brooks.
wait.
Brogdon,
Giannis isn't even
Middleton.
on the
Middleton's got an open
floor.
baseline drive. Layup is in. 99-97.
Yeah, that is strange that they don't even have
Giannis
him
is
in.
not on the floor right now.
He's about to check in.
Why did he check
just
out?
came off, though.
Interesting.
Maybe Budenholzer wanted to tell him something?
I think it was because of the way he landed. They
wanted to check him out quickly?
Well, they're
I guess.
wasting a lot of time now because he is a defensive anchor for this team, and
5 to shoot.
no one's on Pascal Siakam right now.
Fade away, Kawhi, air ball. Rebound to the Raptors
Yikes.
and a foul on Brook Lopez. That's a killer. That is a
Yikes.
killer. That is an effing killer. That's what that is. Oy.
They shouldn't have taken out Giannis. You don't have enough big bodies to go down there and rebound. That was a terrible call.
I feel physically ill. I don't know why. Good drive by Middleton.
Wonderful move. I think that's his 6th point of the night.
Fadeaway shot by Kawhi. Grazed the rim.
How did Brook not get that with his hands?
Yeah,
He was boxing out Marcus Sol. It hit the rim at a very awkward
the
angle.
last second.
Yeah, I think he
The type of
miscalculated.
misdirection.
Yeah.
Toronto is in the bonus.
You know what Nick Nurse needs right now? Good old shoulder rub.
Well, too bad Drake isn't here.
This is painful.
I mean, what are they reviewing here to see?
They're
Shot
seeing
clock
if it
will be
hit the rim
reset.
for a reset.
Yeah.
Because Milwaukee's not. So the Raptors are going to get a fresh 14, I believe, is what's going to be on the clock here.
Okay.
They have 24, but I don't think it resets at 24 on that.
No, it shouldn't.
It shows the 14, right?
I believe so. And did
They
they
need-
call a foul too? So,
I don't know. They wouldn't be reviewing this if they called a foul.
but I think
I mean, if it wasn't
yeah, you're
if they
right.
were
wouldn't
if they
be.
were shooting free throws, they called a foul. I think. Now I'm confused.
This is the only time I wish we had audio.
Well, I'm just looking at the screen here. Reggie Miller's confused. Here's this.
Well,
I mean, it
he's
clearly
confused.
hit the rim. I don't know what the confusion is here. The shot, Kawhi got the shot off well in time, so I don't know what we're doing. But yes, we could use some audio.
There's captions.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we're good.
We're good.
No, they're on.
Yeah, no, we got it. I see it. Mark Davis is talking to the bench. Reggie and Weber. I love how they go to TV.
Right. Explanation, Gasol.
Gasol to the line, so Gasol was fouled on
Are they
that.
going to explain it to Gucci Mane?
Right, we said that.
Interesting. How was that? Okay, there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of wrapped him up a little bit.
So we got 2 free throws from Marc Gasol on the line right now. 34 point. I got 34.7 tenths of a second.
Yeah.
On our screen it says 34.1. Interesting. Free throw. Yep. 100-97. Raptors by 3. I feel sick.
It's
I can hide the box score on the TV.
No, we're good. We're good. One more free throw coming for Mark Grizzly Bear Gasol.
I mean, there's 34 seconds is a lot of time.
The TV's ahead for us.
Yeah, that was weird.
Second free throw. No good. Rebound to the Bucks.
Oh, God.
Here comes Bledsoe on the push. Do they go for 2 or shoot the 3? Corner, Brogdon.
They're wasting a lot of time.
Brogdon.
Pascal,
I think he
great
just lost
defense.
out of bounds.
Milwaukee.
They're going to say it's off Siakam. Siakam wants him to look at this. I thought it was off of Brogdon.
Oh, my God.
I'm pretty certain it's off Brogdon.
Oh, my God.
You got to look at that. Pascal's telling the referees.
That was
great defense.
Haunt.
Oh, that is
know.
off. That is off Brogdon. Hit his fingertips.
I don't know. We have to get another camera.
Is this
angle
going to
of
be
that.
another?
Look. No, it didn't. It didn't. It clearly did not.
Where did Pascal even touch it? Let's see this.
They need to go back.
Touch his knee.
It's
Up Brogdon's knee.
It's off Brogdon's knee,
shin.
man. It's off Brogdon's knee all day. It's going to be Toronto ball.
I need the second version that they showed because that was a way better angle.
They're off of first one off Siakam and then off Brogdon. Could he have repicked it up? Is what I'm saying. Is he's trying to hold up like he didn't touch it? No, he didn't have time to do it. It's gonna be Raptors ball. They're up 3. You're gonna have to foul with 26 seconds left. That's how I see it.
Sucks.
I feel like puking if I'm a Bucks fan.
Ugh,
right?
That's rough. I mean, there's a shadow, so I don't know if it actually touched his leg. Is there? Because the original call is off of
layup. Bottom line.
The original call is off Pascal Siakam. So is there enough discernible evidence there to overturn
I think
it?
from
Because
the,
it looks
the
like
angle
there's a
from
shadow.
the side, definitely there was, but they only showed that one once. Didn't get a good look at it.
Let's see. Yeah, well, it's clearly off of.
All right, so
That is off Milwaukee.
Bucks are gonna have to foul. Mike Budenholzer is sweating. Mike Budenholzer is puking. Mike Budenholzer is about to be down 3-2 going to Toronto, trying to keep their season alive.
Drake's gonna be so annoying. It's gonna be so great.
It's gonna be fun.
Gasol to inbound.
Let's see. What do we
Gasol
got?
having trouble. Gets it into Van Fleet. They're not fouling for some reason. Van Fleet still dribbling. Gives it to Lowry. And finally, the Bucks foul with 23.4. That's not. Seemed like an eternity was going off the clock, but it wasn't that bad. And Milwaukee wants time.
Just some missed opportunities for Milwaukee down the stretch, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that rebound is killer.
Yeah. That stretch where they took Giannis out for who knows. I'm sure they'll be asked about it at post-game press conference. Maybe it was the way that he fell on the floor. Who knows? But not having him in there for that rebound.
You kind of just got to trust your guy to keep moving. Right?
Yeah. This is a pivotal game. You don't take him out now.
Yeah.
For what, matchup reasons?
Unless his
no.
leg is literally falling off.
Yeah, you keep his ass in the game.
So, okay. We got Fred Van Fleet from the free throw line. Let me just check his numbers. This is if you're just joining us here or whatever, just started watching the game. The Bucks raced out to a 16-4 lead.
Yeah.
The Bucks looked phenomenal.
That feels like a totally different game.
Yeah, Eric Bledsoe looked great to start the game. Giannis was forcing a lot throughout the entire game, so he definitely didn't have an amazing performance.
And it's we talked about it earlier too. It's really like, are the Bucks going to start feeling the pressure of being losing 2 in a row, being at home, all the expectations that are flying, that everyone thinks they're going to the finals. I think it's a factor.
The only thing worse is if they were up 3-1.
Raptors to inbound here.
Okay.
And they come all the way in the backdoor to Kawhi. Kawhi dribbling. The Bucks not fouling. That ball was in the air forever.
Whoa, no foul?
Oh, boy.
That's terrible.
That's insane.
That's bad.
Wow. The Bucks.
They should have
He
called a
got
foul.
clobbered.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Hold on a second here. Budenholzer's out on the court screaming at the official.
He's probably going to get a technical. That's a foul.
Budenholzer.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a coach walk that far out with.
That is a terrible no foul call.
Kawhi.
I mean, that's really actually kind of dangerous.
That's
to
like
not
a
call
flagrant
that.
foul almost.
Yeah.
Kawhi, there's no way that Kyle Lowry wasn't fouled. He got knocked to the ground as he threw the basketball away. There's that ball that should have been called. It's a bad job by the officials.
Yeah.
Officials are people too. They make mistakes, but that was a bad job by the official all day. Budenholzer has got legit beef. 5-point game, 16.3 left. Not over. Most likely over, but not over.
Most likely over. I mean, what do? You go. I mean, you go for the 3, go for the 2. What do you do? What do you get out of the way
Skip
first?
Any points you can.
You gotta shoot a 3.
Okay.
And then foul and hope for a miss of 1 and 2, and then hit a 3, and let's go to overtime.
I mean, crazy.
You really need.
I don't know.
They were very close to getting
I'm seeing what the best look is and going with that.
That's fine too. You can go all the way to and lay it in 2 seconds if that works. That pass by Kawhi was in the air for a long time.
Yeah, it was.
And that was your opportunity, Milwaukee. I mean, if you weren't going to foul, but they had 3 guys on Kawhi, so when the ball's in the air, there wasn't enough defenders to make a play on it. But that ball was floating out there for a long time. And this is what happens in a close game, right? It comes down to like these one little plays, but really, like Milwaukee's had chances all night long.
It's a couple of plays that it's come down to for them. It's that rebound where Giannis wasn't in the game. It's missed free throws. It's just terrible play calling.
Good tweet from Tim Reynolds. The Bucks clearly fouled Drake there.
Nice, very nice, very nice.
Matt Verderam, by the way, tweeting me.
Tweeting you.
I wrote that Bledsoe had a layup, and he said, "Yeah, what the hell was he doing? He stunk all series," which is not actually accurate.
No,
but Verderam out in Rockford is watching. God bless you. Or maybe not watching, just looking at my tweets. Probably not watching at all. Inbounds pass comes in a Middleton fadeaway 3, air ball,
Jesus.
rebound to the Raptors.
That is going to do it.
Lowry fouled, and this one is going the way of Toronto, ladies and gentlemen. Drake is going nuts, and they are coming home with a chance to go to the NBA Finals. Oh, my. What a stuff.
So this is once this game is in the books, this is the closest the Raptors will have ever been to the finals. When they've gone to the conference finals, they've only won a max of 2 games. Mm-hmm. So they are now 1 game away.
Now, Toronto has a history of kind of squandering big moments, so they could very well lose the next 2 games.
I'm putting my money on Toronto at this
Game
point.
6 is a total coin flip. It's my brother's birthday. We're going out with the family. I don't know what I'm going to do.
You're going to be watching the game on your phone?
I think it's a turn the phone off, tape it, go home move.
Yeah, I guess so.
Bledsoe on the drive, lays it in.
What if he missed that?
104.99.
First 3-game losing streak of the season for the Bucks.
It is.
Wow.
They had not lost 3 games in a row. They'd only lost back-to-back games
Lowry
once
comes into
prior to
Powell.
this.
And now this next game, it's at home.
Win or go home. Huh?
It's at home for Toronto.
Yeah.
So.
What do you mean?
They've just put themselves in a situation that I wasn't expecting them to.
Oh, gotcha.
To really step into.
I thought you meant it's home for Milwaukee.
No, it is not.
It is not home for Milwaukee.
Game 7 would be.
I mean, Toronto's going to be rocking in Game 6. It's going to be very loud.
It's going to be awesome. I'm not ruling the Bucks out. If I had to, I mean, at this point, if you had to put the old money in the wallet on it, I think you got to take Toronto to win the series. But this is, to me, it's still a coin flip. The Bucks have been a great road team all year. The Bucks can win in Toronto. The Bucks almost won Game 3 in Toronto. The Bucks are just going to have to play a lot better game. However, Milwaukee is kind of messed up right now.
Mark Stein tweeting, I have a weird feeling this is still going 7 games.
105-99. It is a final. And wow.
I mean, it going 7 would bode well for the Bucks. Having to force Toronto to win 2 games on your home floor, that seems tough, but Toronto has kind of defied the odds this series.
Yeah.
Well, they were down 0-2, man. Down 0-2.
Yeah.
To win 3 in a row against this Milwaukee team.
And it's not unheard of, but it's not easy either.
I mean,
to come back from 2-0.
No. Fred Van
Awful name.
Vliet, jeez, had a great night tonight. 21 points for Toronto. He was talking smack all night to Gucci Mane, which was definitely fueled him a little bit on top of his son being born. So that's awesome. I mean, I still think this is going 7 games. Giannis has had 3 straight terrible uncharacteristic games.
It just seems like Toronto's got his number.
Well, if I had to bet on it, I think the Raptors are going to win Game 6 and go to the finals. Kawhi had 35 tonight. He looked incredibly healthy. He was 11 of 25, which is not great, but very good. 5 of 8 from the three-point line, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
9 assists, 7 rebounds. Guards Giannis. 13 rebounds for Pascal Siakam and 14 points. Lowry had 17, but on 4 of 11 shooting, so in theory he could play better. He was 2 for 8 from the three-point line. The Van Fleet factor, though, you're not going to get that again. 7 of 9 from the three-point line for Fred Van Fleet, plus 27. He had 21
he did it on the
points.
road, so maybe he's able to replicate
That's what
that
they've been
success
looking
at
for
home.
him.
So
Looking for from him, though.
all you need is to win one game on the
Finally
road.
showed up.
And Toronto did it tonight. Let's see if Milwaukee can do it Saturday night, I guess.
Saturday night.
This just feels like the Giannis come to Jesus moment. Like
pivotal turning point in his career.
But he might need an offseason to just get himself to the next level so this doesn't happen again to him against a team that really, I mean, the Bucks, I don't know if you want to say they should beat, but
I don't know, and that's the thing.
I think that's fair to say, actually. They should beat this Toronto team. Toronto's playing great basketball right now, but the Milwaukee...
Milwaukee was the 1 seed for a reason.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, Toronto's too. It's not like they're a slouch. It's not like they're a 6 seed coming in here.
I mean, we're talking about 60 and 22 versus 50 and 24.
Right, and the second best
For
player
sure.
on Toronto's team is who? Pascal Siakam? Is he better than who's the second best player on Milwaukee?
I think Siakam's better. So
exactly. So it's not like Milwaukee is a wholly better team.
Mm-hmm.
They just have Giannis, and that outweighs clearly a lot. But Kawhi Leonard is a better player than Giannis Antetokounmpo. So
Yeah, and
Kawhi's outplaying him.
yeah,
Flat out.
they've got better players who are showing up in moments that, Chris Middleton had 6, maybe 8 points tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They need him to step up. He's about to get a max contract. That's not max contract play. You
Yeah.
cannot just have a game where you score 8 points. Granted, I know that you have a very tough assignment of guarding Kawhi all night, but you still have to show up on the offensive end of the floor. You're supposed to be the second man on this team. You have to put up 18 points, 19 points. Like, come on. That's...
Yeah, I think part of what we're seeing too is the Bucks have an amazing player and a system built around him, and that system is sort of falling apart, or the Raptors are finding a way to counter it, and they have players that can step up individually more than the second options can for the Bucks. For the Bucks, their 1-2 punch is the player and the system is just not working, and it's forcing Giannis to not hit some of the things that he was relying on in the regular season either. So yeah, guys like Pascal, and obviously when you get a huge night from Van Vliet, that's helpful.
Yeah.
I'm putting out a tweet right now at the Carm. Kawhi is outplaying Giannis. Normally, it's not that simple. Fred Van Fleet had the game of his life, but at the end of the day, this series has been about Kawhi being better than the MVP to be. Anybody got a problem with that?
It's your tweet, man.
Do you agree? I
didn't know we were proofreading this.
Do you agree or do you disagree? I'm going to send it regardless, but do you agree or do you disagree?
It's better than what Magic Johnson will probably have to say about this game. I'll give
Thank you
that.
very much. It's been.
Oh, man.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
The tweet?
No, nobody saw this coming. Nobody thought the Raptors.
I think Raptors fans thought they saw it coming.
Please, they were.
No,
Raptors fans are very loyal to the
Yes,
brands. They
they are.
expected to come in here, and they have Kawhi. Kawhi is the best player on the floor. Giannis might be the MVP of the season, but Kawhi is the best player on the floor. Like, bar none. Like, we keep talking about, when's Giannis going to be the best player in the league? There are 2 players above him who are better than him on both ends of the floor that are still playing and are still playing at peaks. So it's going to be a while before he's the best player in the league. Give it 4 or 5 years.
I don't think it's that long. I think it could be really one off season away, but who the hell knows? I mean, next year, the NBA is going to be wide freaking open.
Yeah, but also you might have a healthier LeBron come back next year.
You
So
still have
it's-
LeBron. You still have Kevin Durant. You still have Kawhi Leonard. Those
I
are the
can't
top
wait
3 players in the
for
league.
next year's NBA. Once we figure out where everyone is
Yeah.
and all these players kind of growing in. Like, we have so many young players who are just on the edge of like stardom, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, we will we'll see if we are here on
Monday.
On Monday night.
On Memorial Day, Game 7.
Yep, Memorial Day Game 7, maybe.
Potentially in
If
Milwaukee.
not, it'll be Game 1 of the NBA Finals on May the 30th.
Yes, on Thursday.
So either way, we got more business to do. But tonight is in the books. 105.99 Raptors over the Bucks. Thank you so much for watching tonight. We greatly appreciate it. For Jasmyn Wimbish, Josh Wilson, and our man Richard, leader of mankind. There he is. Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on Instagram at Fansided. And thank you to everyone being lively in the chat, Tamberlin. We know you were very excited. So is the new centrist, our loyal Raptors fans in the chat. Celebrating.
Congrats to the Raptors. Fear the North. Way to do it.
We the North.
We the North. Fear the deer. We the North. Way to go. I'm still learning. That's
We
all
the
right.
deer.
We the deer. Fear yourself. Congratulations
Fear God.
to Toronto. You're 1 win away from the NBA Finals, Toronto. And by the way, Bucks fans, hang in there. You're 1 win away from a Game 7 on your home court. It's going to be an awesome Game 6. We'll see you hopefully for Game 7, if not in the NBA Finals.